my SmackDown show, which was a great match. Eminem, Paul London, and Spanky totally had the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
This was a fine opener. The good guys won a non-title match, and all was great in the world. It'll set up a rematch down the road, and there you go.
I hope this feud lasts all year.
Yeah, it was a good little match. They really were putting over Paul London.
Yeah.
Spanky was just sort of there as his partner. You can see that, they love the Paul London Spanky team, but they're more into Paul London. It was very, very carefully designed to be the Paul London show.
Well, he would.
And Spanky was there.
Yeah, he was. They got the heat on Spanky, and London got to get the hot tag and run wild and everyone. So it was even more. There's more subtle things going on as they just constantly talked about how great he was. But yeah, the match was built for London to look good, and the good guys got the win when London pinned Mercury.
I don't know if he's still wearing the furry boots because, as mentioned, we missed I guess they have the masks now. I
the
believe.
masks and those giant shorts.
We don't know because we missed the fucking because of the baseball. So there's a new angle. Booker T has a restraining order against the Boogeyman, but not against the Boogeyman's music. He's going to have to. This whole thing was sort of dumb. They debuted Brent Albright as Gunner Smith.
Scott,
sorry.
Horrible name.
Gunner Scott. The shooter, Gunner Scott. That's going to be the wacky. So anyway, he had a match with Booker, and even though Booker had this restraining order, when the music played, he freaked out, and he was pinned by Gunner Smith.
Scott.
1, 2, 3. It's Gunner Smith from now on.
I see.
I've changed it. Oh, Gunner Scott's better?
No.
Okay, well, so shut up.
Wow.
Gunner
Got
Smith.
into you today.
That fucking Bushido show.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Gunner Smith won, and Booker was beaten, and I don't know. Booker's an idiot. You got the restraining order just because if her music played, I'm not going to suddenly look around. Where is she?
Would you look around and wonder where the music was coming from?
That I would.
Well, two things. Everything about Brent Albright being called up was fine except for the stupid new name. But he was not given a wacky gimmick. He was just put out there in his OVW gear with his OVW look.
Actually, no. You got Benoit's gear.
That's the same gear he's been wearing.
Which is Benoit's gear.
I see.
But the point I'm trying to make is this was by design.
Mm-hmm.
It was he is Benoit's protege now on the TV show.
They did hook that up afterwards. Benoit congratulated him, and that's how it's done and stuff.
If you have a Chris Benoit gimmick in Ohio Valley,
it's fine.
When they call you up, you'll be whatever they want you to be.
Mm-hmm.
They aren't letting you be Chris Benoit if they don't want you to be. So this is by design.
Yeah. Well, the other comment is I just want to see on the restraining order where it says it's against man, boogie.
Yeah, that's exactly how it goes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was that, and it was Brent Albright looked good. So
he looked fine.
Everything was fine. Then we had a fantastic match. Benoit and Simon Dean. I never get sick of Benoit squashes. And Simon did get some stuff in here, but I have no problem with it because Benoit murdered him afterwards. He killed him at the beginning. He killed him at the end. He knocked him off his little scooter.
That was the best part.
That was. In the
Simon
aisle.
tried to run him down with a scooter, and Benoit saw him coming and just clotheslined him off it.
Yes.
It was awesome.
It was great.
It almost looked like Simon, at times this looked like a legit fight. Simon had to fight to get his offense in, and then Benoit would just immediately cut him off and kill him more.
Good. Well, maybe Benoit was trying to teach him how to work. Maybe he told Brent Albright to really watch the monitor backstage while he just destroyed a man.
It was fun.
It was great stuff. So then we had another great match. This show is off to a wonderful start. My computer got all wacky. So I'm sorry about that. But anyway, the match I was talking about, Ray and Orton for the world title.
Yay!
Before I get into this match, I have to say that backstage, Orton was looking morose. This was the day that he had his ass handed to him. He was, I don't know what you could describe it as. He was being a dick. He was being a cocky dick on TV to Angle. Angle slapped him across the face, and I thought, broken neck, atrophy, shrunken like a shrinky dink. Angle would fucking kill you.
Oh, God, yes.
Just kill ya. And Angle didn't even say anything.
No, he slapped him and then he barked several times.
Yes, and I was horrified sitting in my chair like he might jump through the TV and get mad at me. But they had a match. It was great. It was such a... here's the saddest part about Randy Orton.
There's many sad parts about Randy Orton, but...
Randy Orton's boring on his promos, and sometimes he's lazy in the ring. But I think he knew he was in big trouble because he was working his ass off in this match.
Yes.
This was the best Randy Orton has looked in so long.
Probably since he won the title from Benoit.
And you're going to see it one more time next week, and then you ain't going to see it again.
Yeah.
For a long time. But it's his own fault. I only feel so sorry for him. He fucked it all up himself. I have little sympathy. I'm just sad that it's such a waste. Such a waste.
Because he can be really, really good when he wants to.
Yep, but...
This ruled.
Bye.
Bye, indeed.
I thought that you continue, Vince.
I was going to interrupt me. I thought you had more to say, but I guess you were just going to say bye.
Yeah, I said bye.
And now you're done.
Yes, go on.
Well, yeah, this is all kinds of good. This was probably a better wrestling match than anything at WrestleMania. It didn't seem as cool because it was just on SmackDown, but it was almost like they were making up to Ray for, they kind of shoehorned his title win into a 9-minute deal at Mania. They gave him all kinds of time. They had both traded great near falls. Randy worked him over forever, and then Ray finally got the pin with about 8 619s in the leg drop. Everyone went crazy. The music played. The fans went nuts. And then he got to go backstage and cut his promo with Crystal, and he had Dominic and the rest of the family there, and everyone was also happy. It was wonderful.
This was such a great match. It was actually, I was trying to decide which match was better, this one or the Stuka Flecha match, which is a totally different kind of match, but was also really great.
This is better.
I'll take your word for it.
That's my opinion. You can just take it or leave it, but that's my definite opinion.
This was definite opinion. I didn't think they were that far apart. Maybe by a quarter star or something like that. They were both excellent matches for what they both were. Just two completely different styles.
Yeah.
Lucha's different. It's wacky. I certainly would not say this was as good as the 6-man main event on the Lucha show. That was absolutely not in this category. But this was great. It was great stuff. And like I said, see ya, dude.
Thanks for coming.
See you, buddy. And then he was very sad backstage, and they announced he was going to face Angle in the King of the Ring next week. They're starting the King of the Ring tournament, so he was very morose, and he was just letting all of his frustration come out on TV, and it
worked in a weird kind of way.
We have the King of the Ring brackets, by the way.
This tournament could be really, really great stuff.
It's Angle and Orton next week. It's Matt Hardy versus Booker T, Benoit versus Finlay, Lashley versus Mark Henry.
Except for that.
So I would suspect Angle wins, of course. I would expect, believe it or not, that Matt Hardy beats Booker T. I think it's going to be a bit of the boogeyman thing. I'll probably look like an idiot next week. But Benoit will... I'd say Benoit will lose to Finlay, actually. And then Lashley will beat Henry.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got Finlay and Lashley, which Lashley will win. Angle versus Hardy, which Angle will win. And then Angle versus Lashley, which... I don't know. You would say that it makes sense for Lashley to win, but I don't know about the idea of putting him over Angle at this point.
Well, he's not undefeated, so you don't have to protect that anymore.
I think that you could have a great Angle versus Lashley match, which I think would be goddamn great, and Angle beats him. Lashley will still look strong. You'll keep the title strong. You'll keep Angle strong, and everything will be great.
Yeah.
That's my...
There's... Eight guys in this tournament, and 7 of them are really good. So I'm just excited about the whole thing. I hadn't even thought about who might win.
Well, we just thought about it right there, so that's that. Then the show just croaked.
We should have stopped.
We had a match with Burchill, and what the hell is up with my report here? I'm sorry. It was Burchill and Regal, basically. And the gimmick was that Burchill is still a pirate. Terrible one. Regal doesn't want him to be a pirate. He told him to quit wearing that shit, and if he did, he wouldn't, he wouldn't yell at him anymore. And so Burchill said, listen, let's do a match. If you win, I'll stop wearing this outfit. If I win, you have to wear whatever I want you to wear. And Regal said, fine. And the pirate threatened to make him dress as a buxom wench. The pirate won. And goddamn was this Regal's the performance of his life. Regal was so great tonight. And he lost. And I'm so sad that he's going to be a buxom wench. I realize it will lead to a lot of comedy and wacky facial expressions with Regal and everything like that, but I want to see Regal as a pirate.
Well, there's that too.
That's so I give a thumbs down to the idea of him as a buxom wench.
Well, it's certainly not something I would give a thumbs up to, but Regal's just so great, especially in the skits and the promos. He's just so awesome. They never use him, at least not enough. And I was thinking also about this. We've said everything we can say about the pirate himself, but it's the whole concept. Michael Cole was talking about how Burchell has his grandfather or great-grandfather or whatever was an actual pirate, so he wants to pay tribute to this guy. And it occurred to me, what he's basically saying is announcing to the world, my grandfather was a murderer, a thief, and a rapist.
But he was a pirate.
And I am paying tribute to him.
Yeah, but he was a pirate.
So it's okay to do all those things if you have an eye patch and a parrot.
This is not your best...
I don't have any best.
whatever you want to call this here. I mean, he's a pirate. I mean... Do you think when Pirates of the Caribbean came out, there was a big argument about we're glorifying men who raped, killed?
But that was a fantasy movie. They're claiming his. Oh, never mind. They're saying his.
This is a fantasy character on a fantasy show. I'll let the board determine this one.
I don't care.
I think this one's absolutely absurd on your part, but
I probably. I don't care.
Glorifying murderers and rapists.
Yeah.
Well, just pick a random character.
Okay, Booker T.
Rey Mysterio. We're gonna use Rey Mysterio because he does a promo here, thanking his family and everything.
Okay.
So when Rey Mysterio, and I'm gonna get you for this one, you cock. A couple of weeks ago, you were talking about how I have no interest in seeing this three-way, but maybe when Rey comes out with his Aztec headdress on and he's doing all sorts of
I remember saying that.
Remember this?
Yeah.
Okay, so when he's wearing this Aztec headdress, is he glorifying human sacrifice? Is it not the same fucking thing? And you're fine with that because it's wacky feathers and a mask? Yes? Am I wrong? Is this in any way different? You've never been this speechless for anything. What do you have to say? I want to know! Is it not the same thing? The Aztec headdress and the pirate. Is it not the same thing? If it's not, tell me. I've humbled you. I have humbled you. I'm just going to consider you humbled. That's why you're so quiet here. So Rey came out and thanked his family, his children. Dominic is now just his child. There's no more mention of Eddie Guerrero being his father or anything like that. So that was that, and then the main event of the show was a shitty match with Mark Henry and The Undertaker, which ended with a shitty run-in by the shittiest wrestler who's ever walked the face of God's green earth, Giant Singh. Do you have any comments, Vince, about Giant Singh? You've just given up for the whole day. You're not going to talk about Guerrero Del Ring. All right. I'll let you watch some sports. I'll even turn the volume up for you. Vince has given up. I don't know why. Perhaps it had to do with the headdress statement. But, in fact, it definitely did. But I presume Vince is going to watch hockey. I'll be a nice guy and I'll at least turn your volume up, Vince. So if you have to jump in with anything, you can do that. Vince gave me the big thumbs up. So anyway, Giant Singh came out and attacked The Undertaker. And I guess the idea is that The Undertaker and Giant Singh will work together on the road. And after a period of 6 to 8 years, Giant Singh will finally be ready to come on TV, have one horribly shitty match with The Undertaker in a month and a half at the SmackDown pay-per-view, and you will never see him again. And the show actually ended with the finest statement of Michael Cole's career when he said, and I quote, "Words cannot describe what you are looking at, ladies and gentlemen." And that was the end of SmackDown. So anyway, final show for today, which Vina and I watched, was the Guerreros del Ring show, which of course was brought to my attention by the great Cubs fan on Wednesday, and then brought to the attention of Dave Meltzer on Thursday when he did the show, and I told him about the whole deal, and he actually sent me an email a moment ago, which I'm going to read. Oh, we've got a... Never mind, you'll all find out tomorrow. So anyway, Guerreros del Ring aired, and it was a fine program. It's a 1-hour lucha show. They have 2 matches. They had a Stuka versus La Flecha match, mask versus match, match versus mask versus mask match, La Flecha and Stuka. And then they had the main event of the show. All of these are taped from Arena Coliseo. I believe it is the previous Sunday's show or something of that nature, but it's a fine show. They got interviews with the guys. I was told there were a lot of wacky lucha skits, but there were not. But there were interviews and that sort of thing. So Flecha and Stuka was a excellent match. As mentioned earlier, it was a very different match from the Ray versus Norton match, but it was probably a 3 3/4 star match. Good stuff. Vince just looked at me completely appalled. You disagree? 3 3/4 stars for that match? All right, well, speak. You can't do the mute gimmick unless we have a webcam.
It wasn't that good.
What was not good about it?
The first 2 falls were absolutely nothing. There's nothing going on. They did some stuff. And
all right.
And the third fall was better, but it was, I can only watch the super slow lucha count so many times.
That's the ref's fault.
Right.
It was still a good match, though. I thought this was a great match.
Well, I'm glad you liked it.
All right. So that was that, and ended up with Flecha. La Flecha was beaten. He was unmasked as Alberto Hernandez Blanco, who was not Osama Rodriguez Alejandro. But he raised Stuka's arm afterwards. They screamed and yelled. The crowd went crazy. Lucha horns went off, and all was great in the world. And in the main event was Tarzan Boy, Ray Bucanero, and Olympico versus Dos Caras Jr., who I think is 10 feet tall. He looked the same height as Giant Singh in this match. He did not look quite as bad, but he's tall and he's goofy. He's not bad, but he's so tall and he does things and it just looks weird. He was in there with Negro Casas, who looked like a midget next to him, and Ultimo Dragon, who's just great. It was 3 falls. Tarzan Boy and Olympico, as Vince noted, and he can take no credit for this since he's a mute right now, but they have switched physiques. And I had heard the tales of Olympico's new body. I'd seen photographs. I'd read his explanation, which is he's eating a lot of fruits and vegetables. Not sure exactly. It's Mexico.
Testosterone's a fruit,
It is. It's derived from the testosterone plant that grows throughout Mexico. But totally different bodies. Tarzan Boy cut all of his hair off. I've not seen a lot of lucha in a long time. He's cut all his hair off and grown somewhat of a mullet.
I would presume he lost a hair match at some point in recent history. Okay, well, there you go. He's growing it back.
But he's growing it back. He's like growing a mullet. It's not like he's just growing it all back. He keeps cutting the bangs, it looks like. So he looks like a dingbat, and he's taking the wellness program very seriously. And then Ray Bucanero used to have the best hair. He had this thick, curly, kind of that weird... When a guy with real dark hair tries to bleach it, but he doesn't put enough bleach in, so it comes out kind of a weird reddish color. Flowing. This is the gayest thing I've ever...
Those days are long gone.
Those days are long gone.
For most of the last year or so, I saw him, and what I was watching was all 6 months old, but he straightened it and bleached it platinum yellow.
Yes, and then he lost it at some point, and he's grown back just the top. The sides and the back are shaved. It's in a ponytail, and it's straightened, and he looks like such a geek. And other than that, the match was fine.
Thank you, Shiki.
Yes. I mean, it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't the Stuka match. It was not the Ray Orton match. But it was your average, good lucha main event. The guys all did their stuff. The first fall was sort of the whatever. Second fall was a little more exciting. The third fall, everybody took turns doing spots. And then the good guys won, and it was over. And it was a fight you won't it was sort of, you won't remember it the next day.
The only thing I remember about this was Negro Casas stealing some of Super Porky's comedy spots.
He was. I was looking down at the computer and you said, when did Negro Casas become Super Porky? And I presume you meant wait.
Oh, well.
And I was like, have you not seen Super Porky in some time? Was he trim last time you saw him?
No.
It was, I presume, just there was a lot of comedy in the third fall, but I give the show a thumbs up. I am very happy to see Lucha back on my TV, and it was a good thing we watched it last and not say Ohio Valley.
Or Giant Sing.
Or Giant Sing, because I would have been in a very, very miserable mood going into this show. But as it was fun. It was a wacky day of wrestling, and that's that. Vinny, do you have any final comments? Are you still watching the show, by the way?
Turn it off.
I was looking at a child's toy of some sort in the middle of the hockey game. Little ducks you sit on with the spring underneath them that bounce you up and down. I don't know why it was on there, but any final comments today, Vince?
I'm glad it's over.
What caused the outburst?
I decided I couldn't say anything that you would not disagree with and then make fun of, so I just stopped.
I was trying to point out that the Aztec headdress and the pirate were the same thing. I'll make you a deal. Since you were silent for a good 15 minutes there, I'm going to turn down my own volume, and I will let you speak your piece about the differences between the pirate and the headdress, and that way I cannot say a word. I will let you have the last word on the situation.
No, I don't want to do that.
Why?
I don't care about being last word. I just want to move on.
I actually thought this was the best argument we've ever had.
How so?
Because it was actually relevant, and I think that we both, me mostly, had a good point.
That is Brian in a nutshell. This is a great argument because I had a good point.
Well, the argument was that...
The thing is, you kept saying that they... You kept saying they want Burchell to be the hero to England because he's being a real pirate. Those are the words you used.
Well, sort of. They want Regal to be the new Bulldog.
Burchell.
I'm sorry, Burchell. They want Burchell to be the new Bulldog. And they also, the claim, I was told this specifically that he was going to be a legit pirate. I think that is not the case anymore.
He is definitely saying ahoy and matey, and he may have slipped in an R at some point today.
Sure. But also during the show, he did cut the promo where he said, I'm having a lot of fun doing this. And I've been undefeated since I started doing this. So, it was revealed during the show that he's being wacky. He's not a real pirate.
Don't you think you overreacted a little?
About what?
About me.
In what way?
You could have just said, no, Vince, you're wrong, and moved on. But no, you had to blow up.
I did blow up.
You did.
I cannot... Listen, how many years have we known each other?
Too many.
6?
Something like that.
Okay, after 6 years, have you not found out that when something occurs, I cannot control myself?
You do have a tendency to blow up.
And I'm not going to pretend. Then we had the SmackDown show, which got very good reviews. I don't think it was a fantastic show, but it was not a bad show.
It was a good show.
And we saw some bad stuff this evening, so that may also have helped it out because we did watch it last. Open up with Booker T and Sharmell coming out to do a celebration in the ring for King of the Ring. And it was great.
It was Booker T and Sharmell being the tease.
He's got to go to the finals or win.
He has to win. That's all I can think.
I mean, I think next week it's Booker and Lashley. Is that right?
I think it's Booker and Hardy. I'm not sure why the hell Lashley came out. Booker was in the ring celebrating, talking about how he was going to win. He had this crown and the scepter and the robe, and he was going on and on and on. And then finally Lashley came out and speared him, and that was the end of it. So you would think it would be Booker and Lashley next week.
I should probably know this stuff, seeing as how I write a newsletter, which in fact this week had the brackets. Let me look at the little newsletter here.
I think it's Lashley and Mark Henry in the first round, unless they change something.
Oh, Jesus, fuck, you're right, it is. Yeah, so Lashley speared Booker T for no reason then.
Yes. Unless they're going to the finals and they gave away the whole tournament.
I give this segment a thumbs down.
Just for that?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But actually give it a thumbs in the middle because Booker was so great.
It was so great, and Lashley's great for what he is, and it got over. It just makes no sense.
A lot of people say that they don't read the TV reports in the newsletter because they listen to the recaps on this show.
Mm-hmm.
which is fair because we do recap them here on the show, but I need everybody to read the TV reports this week. Number one, because I just want everybody to read the newsletter every week. But number two, because now that we have so many shows we have to review every week, we're not going to be able to go into great detail on all of them. There will be more overviews as we've been doing tonight. But this night in particular, on 3 of the 4 shows, coincidentally all the wrestling shows, there were the biggest logic holes. Time after time after time after time after time all evening. And I was getting very upset by the end of SmackDown. And the biggest one of all was, last week they promised the biggest celebration in the history of the country with JBL. And I shouldn't complain that instead we got a JBL Benoit match, but they just didn't do the celebration.
There was no mention of it.
No mention of it. There was no announcement. It was something that they had promised and did not deliver on. And God knows, all night I had been watching shit like this over and over again, so I was very upset. And then, to add to just weird, absolutely illogical things, the match, Benoit and JBL is about to start, and they just have Teddy come out and say it's now going to be in a cage. An unannounced cage match.
A surprise cage match.
Yeah.
It sold no tickets. It got no rating.
No. So,
this sets the record, by the way. It doesn't set the record for shortest build to a cage match. Seconds.
Literally, the cage came down, the match started. It was... So anyway, first the Booker T thing, and then we had the Eminem, actually it was just Johnny Nitro versus Spanky, which was fine, short, just a match.
Fun.
Nothing spectacular.
The storyline progresses. Eminem can't get a win.
I hate to say I want to see anybody get cut, but I'm fine with them cutting Melina, if that's what it takes to get her off my TV. I don't want to see her anymore. I do not ever want to see Melina again as long as I live. I will allow her to be on TV if she just stops screaming. And, you know, I listen to air horns.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to Simon Dean's fucking whistle, which is annoying. Not to this level. The scream is just go away and never come back heat with me. Ever. I don't care if I ever see her again. And that's a lot to make me feel that way about a woman. Let me tell you.
Especially her.
Yeah, she can just go. I'm fine, never seeing her again. And also the other reason I cannot give the show a thumbs down or even a thumbs in the middle. I got to give it a mild thumbs up for William Regal.
A fine gentleman.
Regal lost the bet, or the match, actually, which I guess would be a wager.
Yeah, that's a bet.
Betting on which is the better man.
Yeah.
So anyway, he has to dress up as a harlot.
A buxom wench is the term they use over and over again. And ordinarily, when they drive a term into the ground, it annoys me. I am fine with them using the term buxom wench repeatedly for various reasons.
Bonnie lass, I would categorize him as. He came out. See, I was sad when I heard this. I was like, part of me was happy because I knew we'd get wacky Regal comedy. But part of me was sad because I was like, Regal would be such a fantastic pirate. The pirate they've got blows.
Yes.
Regal would be a fabulous pirate.
You know, Regal could do anything and entertain me.
He really could. So I was like, I don't know about this whole buxom wench deal. I'd rather see a pirate. So anyway, first the pirate comes out on his rope. And if the pirate is not horrible enough, his entrance when he swings down on the rope is the most safe.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
he's never more than 3 feet off the ground.
I'm not saying that there should be any risk, but
there should be at least the illusion of risk.
Yes, if you're going to be a pirate and you can't really do a wild, wacky swing, a dramatic, exciting swing down a rope, just don't use the rope. Can't they make a boat on wheels that he comes out on?
That would be a vast improvement with men on the oars rowing him to the ring.
Oh, yes.
You are without doubt the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
So then Regal is all of a sudden appears by the rope. And I'm like, oh no. Regal tried to swing down on the rope, fell on his ass, just straight out of a Fatty Arbuckle comedy.
He came out with the blonde wig and the overdone makeup, and Michael Cole made a great point when he said he looks like Dee Snider.
Was he wearing heels?
He was always wearing huge heels.
So he came down on this rope.
On heels.
On heels. That's risk.
You know, that's true, actually.
He's a very daring young man.
I'm actually in the middle of reading his book right now. It is excellent, first of all. But the first chapter is devoted to all his influences, and they're all from British comedy.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that would explain it all.
Oh, yeah, he's a great fan of physical pratfall comedy, and and I would say he's mastered it himself.
He came out, the wacky facials.
The posture.
Falling on his ass. I mean, when he came down on that rope in the wig and just fell down, they cut to the audience and people were crying with laughter. And I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
Oh, yes.
He went to the ring. The gimmick is that as long as the pirate wins, he has to remain a Bonnie Lass, and so he keeps trying to cost the pirate a victory, but of course he's failing. He will fail over and over again. Unfortunately, it just wasn't... He should fail in a spectacular manner.
Yeah.
This time he just jumped up on the apron with Nux and he got knocked off the apron and the pirate won, but it should grow more and more complicated. Like he should have like a trap or something of that nature. He should dig a hole in the ring and put sticks over it. And like the pirate's doing his spots and trying, and he's always avoiding the hole. He doesn't know it's, you know what I mean? So,
sorry, everyone.
Just so, it could just have like I picture like a
dig a hole. Without the pirate noticing, mind you.
No.
Behind the pirate's back, while the pirate is posing on the top rope, he will dig a hole in the ring and put sticks over it.
Sure. Or have a giant net over the ring made of like vines, and he could try and trap the pirate in it, but he accidentally trapped the jobber,
yeah.
and so the jobber would be counted out.
I see it, you know, the rope from the tree where you cut the rope and the tree snaps up and the cords around his foot and yanks him into the air.
Sure, and he's upside down.
That would be great.
But of course, Regal gets upside down.
Yeah,
all sorts of...
Swinging at the pirate, hanging from one foot upside down.
Just wait. So many fantastic ideas could come out of this.
And the great thing was, it was just Burchill against a jobber, some local guy.
Yeah.
And they can do this for months and months. I don't think it will get old.
No.
They can build this up to SummerSlam.
As long as there's always some different way to try and cost the pirate the match.
Yeah.
Something. Maybe get him drunk on rum, and so we got a drunk pirate out there staggering around, and he still beats the jobber.
Different nefarious tactic. It's Roadrunner and Coyote, and that's fine.
Sure.
That was a very successful show.
Yeah, forever. So this brought great joy to my life. I want to see the pirate and Regal every week now.
Regal is awesome.
It's
my favorite. I shouldn't even tell the story because it won't come across on radio at all. But
don't tell it then.
Yeah, I won't.
All right, fine, tell it.
During the Invasion, there was a tag team match between It was two WCW guys against Regal and Scotty 2 Hotty. And Scotty came out and he was doing his entrance and he was just being Scotty. And Regal came out and looked him up and down from head to toe over and over again and was just appalled and embarrassed to be out there. And it was beautiful.
So anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Next on the show, I didn't even listen to your story. I'm sorry. Because I figured I'd be far more cruel if I actually did listen to it.
It's entirely possible.
I got the drop ready. Oh, this is the other one that annoyed me. This was a TNA faux pas, or a TNA... It was bullshit. Rey Mysterio's next, they said. In fact, he was not next.
Not only was he not next...
He never appeared on the program.
No, the World Heavyweight
video
Champion.
Package.
Yeah, I guess that was the next.
Yes.
The next is a Rey Mysterio video package, and that was his appearance there. And when I saw that in the spoilers, I thought, well, I guess he had, I couldn't understand why you wouldn't have your new world champion out there, pushes your great big new stars, get him on TV any way you can, and he's not on the show. Well, that's weird. He must have had some appearance somewhere or something, and no, he did a dark match.
He did a dark match.
What the hell?
Yeah, they promised Rey next. And really, we didn't even get the highlight video next. They promised Rey, and instead we got Matt Hardy and Animal. And then when that was over, we got the Rey video package, and then we never saw Rey again.
Nope.
And then immediately after that, we had the whole Benoit JBL no celebration cage match thing. And at this point, I was passionately hating the show.
In hindsight, there's some dumb stuff on the show.
There was so much stupid stuff. JBL won that match. It was good. It was not great. It was
better than Mania. They were better than their match at Mania.
It was not Randy and Ray from last week. That's
no.
Sure. But, it was good. I had read that they did the headbutt off the cage. Thankfully, they did not. It was only off the top rope. They did do a German off the top rope, which they built it up so well that I was terrified when it happened, but it wasn't nearly as scary as I thought.
Once it happened, you realize, yeah, right.
It was very safe, but... it was a mule kick finish, and the key to this match was Jillian tried to slam the door on Benoit's head and accidentally hit JBL. So,
sorry, Blondie.
Yeah,
things look bleak.
Things look She was wearing a very open top to try and make things less bleak, but
and virtually chaps.
I don't think it helped, baby. You're in trouble. So then we had something I actually give a thumbs up to. Daivari came out to introduce the Great Khali. who is Giant Singh. Now, Giant Singh is the most fantastically horrible wrestler there's ever been. And Daivari basically came out and ran down a resume of all the great things he'd done in his life, none of which, of course, involved the wrestling business.
No, they involved pythons and Bengal tigers.
Sure, it was funny. And they put the camera on the canvas and filmed upwards, so he looked about 7 feet tall, and then they put the diminutive Daivari next to him, and thus he looked 8 feet tall. He cut a promo that was so bad, it was great. I mean, this was a drunken Andre the Giant promo is what this was.
If you ever... Drunken is the best way to describe it, because he used no hard consonants. Lots of N's and sh's and ers and o's.
Yes.
He may be a Wookiee.
He's Kali.
He's the great Kali.
There's nothing more that needs to be said. So, yeah, it was great. It was just great.
It was.
I don't ever want to see him work.
No.
But this was the best possible. Talking about giant Kali, pythons, and all sorts of shit like that.
It. I've had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
That's all. Please don't yell into the mic, Vince. You kill us all. But that's all we need next is, yeah.
I hadn't heard that before.
Really? Played it on the show like a week ago.
What show? This show?
Yeah.
Our show?
Yes.
You sure?
Someone will confirm it on the board. Huh. Your bad memory. Have you been taking drugs?
No. I have not been sleeping much.
Mexicools versus the Geminis. Nothing to say about it, except the Geminis now have first names. And if someone came up to me, if I worked on their creative team, and they said, Brian, I need you to think up 2 names for the Geminis. Any 2 names in the world. All right, the last 2 names on Earth I would pick would be Jake and Jesse.
That's their names, though. Jake and Jesse.
Jake and Jesse.
The only, they're both horrible names. The only silver lining I can find in this dark cloud is the concept of maybe his name is not Jake Gemini. Maybe it's Gemini Jake.
In no way does that make it better.
I think it makes it a little better to me.
Oh, jeez.
They had a match. It was not a disaster.
And then the end of young Orton's career for the next few months, possibly the next 2 months. It was a match, 10 minutes. It was good, not great.
It was not as good as Randy and Ray from last week, but your comment again, Randy knows he's in trouble and is trying to look good. It was true again. He was taking all kinds of crazy bumps over the top rope. And
this was more than trying to look good. I mean, he was not doing any of the wacky selling.
No.
Nothing. He was being very professional and very serious. And
part of that, too, may have been he was alone in a wrestling ring with Kurt Angle.
Yes. The problem is that you can be as long as you want, but if you've been unprofessional for 2 years,
so
you ain't going to fix it in 2 weeks.
Too little, too late.
But you know what? I was thinking about this the other day. He was suspended for 60 days officially. The word that night was there is no real end date. Mm-hmm. It could be much longer.
Yeah.
Then the words indefinite suspension came down, which sounds more severe, but that just means there's no definite end to the suspension. Could be 60 days, could be 61 days. And then I really got to thinking about it, and if Randy Orton, this is just from watching a lot of Vince McMahon behavior over the last several years, if Randy Orton disappears today after having 2 great matches and being extraordinarily well-behaved, and he doesn't have a very public incident like a DUI, rape conviction, anything just that would make headlines all over the world, if he just lays low, I can see them bringing him back in 60 days and like putting the title on him that night. Or at least giving him a humongous push right out the gate in 60 days.
Oh, I totally agree.
I just know how Vince McMahon works.
I can see Vince McMahon changing his mind and doing it in 4 weeks.
Sure. Anything, I mean...
I can also see Vince McMahon holding a grudge and holding him off to the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying... I am going to say this. Randy Orton will be back in 60 days.
All right.
I don't think 1 day later. And he may be back earlier. I know that it believe me, the day it went down, it was very bleak.
Mm-hmm.
It was very bleak as in, he could have been fired. But I've seen this company operate. Vince McMahon really, I mean, he is say what you will about Vince, but he's the king of second chances.
I was just going to say, many men in this company have been fired for various reasons, and almost all of them have been given a chance to come back.
You have to assault Vince McMahon and then accuse him of trying to rape you to not be brought back.
That'll do it. That's the one, speaking of nails, yes.
That is pretty much the only thing that's going to do it. I mean, he brings back everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Randy Orton, no question about him, unless he fucks something up monumentally in the next 60 days.
If he is caught killing someone.
It is possible that he could do something in the next 60 days, very high profile, and he won't be back for a few months. Even if they fire him, I can't imagine him not being back by 2007.
If you think about it, if he commits a high-profile crime or some national news-making embarrassment thing, even then, they might try to make money off it.
Sure. So, this is not the end of Randy Orton. We're not going to see him on TV for a little while, but he will assuredly be back. And hopefully, when he's back, he'll learn a lesson.
You like to think so.
I think, he's learned a lesson these last 2 weeks, but he's also, I think, very much like Vince McMahon, short-term memory. He could come back and be an idiot within 3 weeks of returning and have more problems.
Yeah.
And God knows what will happen the day after he comes back. But he'll be back, kids. But for now, it's been real.
Thanks, Randy. Appreciate it.
Bye. 2 good matches.
Bye, Randy.
It was fun. So anyway, that's it. And it was not a bad show. I think we'll probably start with the SmackDown thingamajigger this evening. I enjoyed it. The main event angle, I guess it was.
It
was a main event. Just was not a match. The main event of the show was the big party with old JBL, and it was wacky. When it was over, I don't know. It built nothing. It didn't make me want to see anything.
All I could think was this whole year has been nothing but bad three-way feuds, and this is just the latest one.
This one is not as bad as the last couple that we've seen, but
well, it's only one angle in, so it'd be hard to, but no, that was not a very good segment. Up to that point, I thought it was a good show.
It was a pretty good little episode. We'll start with the opener here. Booker T did a promo with his wife, hyping up the King of the Ring tournament. He said he was going to be the champion. And I enjoyed how he talked about how he was attacked last week by Blaster Lashley, and so tonight he was going to beat up Matt Hardy.
Well, yeah, that's retarded, but that's the way they did it. They did these simple, effective little 30-second promos, Booker T and Sharmell, and then Matt Hardy did one as the same thing they did to open the Saturday night's main event show. I think it was the same music even. And
it was the same wacky music.
Yeah, and I thought to myself, wow, what a simple, easy, effective way to build up the main event. And then it was to build up the opener.
It was to build up the opener, and it wasn't even like they did a top-of-the-hour King of the Ring match. The King of the Ring match ended up...
No, it was the opener.
It was the opener.
It was the SmackDown graphics rolled, and out came the tease.
I don't know who he's putting these shows together lately, but got some booking committees that need some work. Booker versus Matt was the opener. I think a key to a good tournament is you have to have a lot of good matches. When you got a tournament and you got some throwaway matches or some short matches early on, hurts the tournament, which in turn hurts the eventual winner, which in turn hurts whatever the hell the point of the tournament was, I guess for long-term booking. But so far, so good. This was a good match. They got a lot of time. Went through a full commercial break. Everybody worked very hard. About halfway through the match, I was thinking, Matt Hardy always gets a great reaction. But are they reacting because they think he can actually win? Or are they cheering because they know the comeback is going to be fun before he loses? And then, moments later, he had a side effect, and the place went absolutely nuts, thinking that he had won the match.
Yeah.
They'll always believe in him.
They will. He's like RVD in that they bury him and bury him and bury him, yet he is still beloved. It's kind of amazing. You could almost throw Booker T in that same category.
No. Booker T is protected much more than the previous two.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
never do anything with him, but he's protected.
He's not buried either.
Not doing jobs left and right like the other two. And Matt actually cut a promo before the match talking about how he had been beaten down over the past year but refused to stay down. And I thought that is absolutely exactly that is his career in a nutshell right there.
Really it is.
So anyway, he hit his big move, went for the twist of fate, but Sharmell took the ref. Booker gave him a low blow, made the cover, got the pin. The place went nuts. It was a very good opener. I give it a big thumbs up.
Big thumbs up. Darn fine little SmackDown match. About halfway through, I was thinking, this is okay, but nothing special. And by the end, I was like, this would have fit in on any pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It was good stuff.
Then they had a preview for the JBL deal later on, the party, and there was something about watching this on the same day that we got word that JBL had caused another man to quit. It's like,
again,
this whole show was the JBL show, and I thought, what if something happens? What if someone actually sues JBL? What if they have to suspend this man? You would think at some point they would have to lay the law down on JBL. It's just one person after another. And something's going to come down one of these days because of JBL's hazing. I'm stunned that nothing has come down yet, but eventually it will. It's inevitable. So, why?
I don't know.
Why has he's not even been suspended for a week.
Ever.
Nothing has ever happened.
This is not a one-time deal.
I guess they could say, well, harassment is not as big a deal as whatever the hell Randy Orton did, but I don't know. Randy Orton's actions mostly affected himself. Mm-hmm. They were personal things with Randy Orton, and it's sort of, I don't know really how to say this, but one of the reasons that Randy Orton was suspended was for his own good. And in a company that really doesn't obviously care about the own good of its performers, if you look at the schedule and everything involved from that perspective, he was really suspended, so they want to teach him a lesson so that nothing happens and it's not a black eye for the company. I think there's more concern about how would it look if something bad happened to Randy Orton, more so than I hope nothing happens to Randy Orton.
Yeah.
That's the way it really comes off.
They don't want to be embarrassed by Randy Orton doing something bad.
Or having something bad happen to Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Whereas with JBL, all the stuff that JBL does, they're waiting for a gigantic black eye. Obviously not to the level of something tragic occurring, but a major black eye, a harassment suit, something of that nature. Something is going to hit them for a lot of money.
Yeah, and it could affect him personally too, because he's got the radio deal, the TV show deal, and the books, and he's got a lot to lose.
JBL is, it's hard to hate him after that video he did when Eddie died. Mm-hmm. I have no doubt that JBL was sincere. And I'm sure that in many ways he is a nice guy. I'm sure he's a great friend to his friends. But the guy's a fucking idiot.
That's probably the best way to put it. It is impossible to hate him. It's hard to understand him.
He has not figured out he's no longer in high school.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that's it.
This is why he's such a fucking idiot. Doing this shit in high school is one thing. Doing it in a corporate environment, you're asking for a major issue. Mm-hmm. And the fact that he's too stupid to see that, and he still keeps doing this stuff over and over again, something has got to happen. Something has got to go down. I expect to wake up tomorrow and read he's been suspended or something crazy like that. Something has got to come down. Otherwise, I will cackle like a madman when a multi-million-dollar suit is filed against WWE and they lose. Because if a suit gets filed, there will be no shortage of individuals
willing to come forward and testify against one John Bradshaw Layfield?
Yes. They will be fucked. So anyway.
Well, we're waiting for the other shoe to drop. That could happen any day.
So that was the opener. And how the hell did I get in that tie? Oh, the preview.
They showed the video deal.
Pirate met with Regal, who was dressed up as a buxom wench again. Said it wasn't funny. And
he was wrong.
Pirate said that Regal laughed at him for his wacky outfits. Now the shoe was on the other foot. And he said, listen, if you don't want to be dressed up... Will you go turn the heat off, by the way? You're not going to be speaking here for a moment, so it doesn't matter. So he basically said, if you don't like this buxom wench outfit, I've got another costume for you. A teddy bear. So off Regal went to put on, I guess, this teddy bear outfit. Gracias. And it was the beginning of many wacky skits during this show. And I got to say that only one man could have pulled this off.
Yes.
Is William Regal. But I will also say that even though he pulled it off, they went about 2 costumes too far. Everything was great with the bear, and everything was really probably great. Actually, really just to the bear.
The bear was great. The chicken was dumb. The ape had potential, but
because it was an ape. I knew you'd like the ape.
Well, It was a really awful ape costume, was the other part of it, but it was just...
As opposed to a good chicken costume? You thought that might actually be a
well,
7-foot cock right
the chicken
there
and the bear looked like... they looked like mascots. The ape, I don't know what it looked like. It was just cheap and bad. But the idea was dead by then. But still, this was D- material that William Regal turned into like B+ skits.
Joey Mercury faced Paul London. The bitch, if I may refer to her as such, screamed primally twice in a span of about 10 seconds and got the mute. She got the mute treatment. Played a little Lightning Hopkins. Played a little Blind Willie McTell. Far superior to whatever was happening on TV. There was absolutely no heat early on, so I know we weren't missing anything.
Yeah.
Sad news is they had a hell of a match. I would have liked to have heard the crowd reactions, but unfortunately, I have standards to uphold here.
You've drawn the line.
I have drawn the line.
And you are not going to bend.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
In fact, she screamed and they zoomed in on a poor little child in the front row that it was holding its ears. This child's ears potentially were bleeding. Does WWE care if the children's ears bleed? Oh, no.
No. They're going to have her scream. I will say for the 2 minutes that we watched with sound at the beginning, there was absolutely zero heat. And by the end, I could see people standing and clapping, so I assumed the heat built.
But we don't know for sure.
It was a weird little match. It was put together in what appeared to be an attempt.
I actually didn't mean to push that button, but we're going to listen to it now.
I guess we might as well. All you amateur DJs out there, someone get to
I had a point to this, but we'll get to it in a minute.
Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, that was huge. Someone needs to set that to a beat, please.
Samoa Joe.
Oh, that was huge. That was 17-star entertainment.
Samoa Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was huge. I want a happy tune and that young boy. That came out wrong.
You pervert.
Perfect ending to that song.
What I wanted was for just the little child to say Samoa Jones. I didn't want the whole song to play, but I can't find the drop.
And you're going to tie it into the young boy
I was.
users? Yeah.
That little boy right there, Vince, that cute little child.
Mm-hmm.
What if his ears bled because of Melina? How would you feel?
I would feel bad.
And you're going to endorse this screaming?
I suspect his ears were not actually bleeding.
If
his ears were, in fact, if her shrill voice drew blood in a young child, I would feel horrible.
That's right. I'll bet it did too. Children are fragile.
You know, children are also loud. I've heard children make the same noise Melina does many times.
Not that loud. Never.
Oh, I don't know.
Impossible.
I've got a lot of nieces and nephews and cousins.
They don't have the vocal cords of Melina.
You'd be surprised.
You'd be surprised how loud I'll bet Melina is.
That's possible.
You're just watching her on TV. If that woman was right there on that edge of the couch right there and she screamed at the top of her lungs, nothing...
I would react the way you always do when she screams.
That's right. So go on. What were you saying before you were interrupted by the child?
Well, it was a match where Paul London had to triumph against Joey Mercury and Johnny Nitro and Melina and his own incompetent tag team partner. So it was a good match, but it kind of shuffled Spanky off to the side. He ran in at one point and was immediately slammed down and then thrown into him, and then he never showed up again.
I don't know if you've been watching much of the feud, but Spanky's been in the back burner the whole time.
You've mentioned it before, and I didn't notice it as blatantly as it was this time.
They like Paul London.
They like Paul London. They don't like Spanky at all.
I don't think they don't like Spanky, but they like Paul London a lot more. If they didn't like Spanky, they'd just given Paul London a new partner. Spanky is just... He's small and pale and very normal looking.
Paul London's not pale. Other than that, he's small and pretty darn normal looking.
Paul London looks like Ricky Steamboat, who's an agent.
I see. Okay.
And Spanky looks like a dude out of the crowd.
Looks like Leo DiCaprio.
Not even Leo DiCaprio anymore. He just looks like a guy.
Yeah.
It's a sad state of affairs, but it was a good match. Regal was dressed as a bear, complete with a head. This is the next wacky costume. They announced that Orton had a broken ankle, would be out for a long time. 53 more days, in fact, for those of you keeping track. Lashley and Chris Benoit faced Orlando Johnson, Fit Finlay. One man did not fit here, and it was even more obvious when Fit Finlay would tag in and do a whole bunch of,
Key locks.
arm bars and
Yeah.
such. And then Orlando Johnson would tag in and start doing arm bars. And it's like, you really suck.
You suck bad, and you may be even worse.
So they have this match, and everything is all hunky-dory. And the good guys win when Blaster Lashley pins Young Johnson with the Dominator. And I thought, man, that Blaster Lashley is getting a lot better. And I thought, it'd be awfully hard not to get better working repeatedly with guys like Chris Benoit. And then I realized the irony of Orlando Johnson being in that match and still being so shitty.
He's worked dozens and dozens of matches with Chris Benoit, and he's not getting any better.
He's awful.
Yeah.
In the list of worst wrestlers in the world, Orlando Johnson has to get a lot of credit because he's so shitty still. Vince, if you had the series of matches that Orlando Jordan has had with Chris Benoit, and you couldn't improve, I don't know what to tell you.
I would retire.
I think even you would have gotten better.
I really like to think so. We'll never know.
We will never know. I don't picture you ever having a match with Chris Benoit.
I think it's very unlikely.
Maybe it's just me.
No, it's not.
It's funny. I sent an email to Lance Storm today because I was looking at the downloads, and he is the second most popular guest behind Dave.
Yeah.
And he wrote back, and first he said he's going to have to kick Dave's ass.
That right there should bump him up.
And then he said, maybe if I come on and completely bury Vince, I'll get more downloads.
Wow.
And
I'm over with Lance Storm.
I actually for a moment thought that, but then I realized he's probably talking about Vince McMahon.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Crap.
In fact, I was in the middle of sending you an email. The entire title was Lance Storm Knows of Your Existence.
Yes.
And about midway through, I thought, he didn't say Vinny. He didn't say your buddy Vince. He just said Vince. And it hit me, he's probably talking about burying Vince McMahon.
And the 10% chance he's not is probably Vince Russo.
That's right. I'm sorry, dude. What can you do?
That was fun for a while.
How did we get into that whole tirade right there?
That's a great question, actually. I have no idea.
You sucking. Ironically, yes, that's what it was. Because I said you'd never
yes.
You'd never have a match with Chris Benoit.
We went from Orlando Johnson to Lance Storm.
So anyway, Regal, like I said, he was now dressed as a chicken. It was wacky. He said he hated the pirate. Joined the club. Crystal interviewed Funaki and the Great Khali. And if ever we needed sound bites or something, we need somebody to make us some drops of the giant speaking in Great Khalis. That is some good stuff. I don't know what he says.
The Great Khali walked up and grabbed the microphone and spoke about 6 syllables. There were consonants and vowels, and beyond that, I cannot describe him.
The best part about the Great Khali is he has a manager, and he still does all the talking.
Yes. Poor Daivari. All the guys he manages end up getting better promos than him.
The thing with Daivari is his only role is to be small.
Yeah.
So, Daivari, if you're listening, don't grow.
Do not grow.
Don't get any bigger like you did in Ohio Valley for a few weeks when you had the body of Muhammad Hassan. In fact, get smaller.
Yeah, you need to get in the habit of walking with a permanent hunch over to make Khali look 9 feet tall instead of 8.
The smaller you get, the better the chances are that,
they will keep you around.
You'll have a job forever. Anyway, then Khali beat Funaki very quickly. He only had 2 moves, neither of which he fucked up, and Funaki made it look fine.
Yeah.
Effective.
It was what it was. It was the Great Khali's first match being given away with no build on Free SmackDown.
Who is going to pay for it, though?
No one would pay for it and be happy. I'm not saying that. But it's one more thing. It's they could have at least said next week Khali will wrestle. Something. They could have done anything. It was a first-time deal, and they had 1 segment build to it. It's in and of itself, it wouldn't be a big deal, but it's one more indication of the pattern of what they're doing.
I don't necessarily... I somewhat agree, but not really.
I don't think it's necessarily a good idea to say pay money to see Great Khali's first match. Because anyone who did that for that very reason would think, my God, this is horrible, and I wasted my money.
Here's what I would have done. If you're going to save Khali for anything, they should have made you pay for his first promo. I'm joking. What they should have done is they should have. If you're gonna make people pay to see Khali, after they've seen him, particularly after they've seen him beat up the Undertaker for free, I don't think paying to see him in an official match where he beats someone up would be anything special.
Mm-hmm.
I think what they should have done is you could have gone very old school, filmed something in a fog of this giant beast coming out of swamp or something like that.
Pushing over trees.
Sure, but you never actually see him. You just see this giant form. That's the key.
Ooh, yeah.
So then you have to pay to see the monster. Once you've seen the monster, I don't picture anybody paying jack shit unless it's a Khali Undertaker match people may pay for.
That is seriously the best idea you've ever had, and now it's too late to use it.
That's very sad that you identified that as the best one I ever had.
No, I like the idea of just a shape going through the wilderness. You see this large humanoid form.
Well, what they should have done is recreated the Patterson film of Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Just from far off, get it like a 16 millimeter camera.
Yeah. Shaky footage of a giant blurry vision walking through the forest.
They'd have to have the swinging arms, everything like that, and look over at the camera.
Yeah.
And maybe scream something in Khali's, and then just...
Exactly, yeah.
You know what I mean?
That would have been awesome.
That would have been good stuff.
We need the time machine.
Too late.
Damn.
Gemini's faced Regal and the Pirate. You know, we mentioned Khali last week, and how I like that he can't speak English.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like a monster, he shouldn't be able to speak English. Shouldn't be erudite, I believe is the word I used.
Very nice, very nice.
Shouldn't have a haircut.
Yeah.
If he's a monster, he should be unwashed, hairy, scruffy, and illiterate.
Amen.
All right. It's always sort of bothered me in pro wrestling where evil men are sportsmen. Like, if you're pushed as an evil man, not just a pro wrestler who cheats. Okay. A pro wrestler who cheats, you at least have the idea that this man, he likes to wrestle. He likes to be an athlete and a wrestler, but he likes to win so much that he's willing to cheat to be victorious.
Okay.
He's a glory hog.
He wants the money.
I hate the idea of guys that are evil, yet they're pro wrestlers. You know what I mean? Like to me, I think if you're pushing a guy as evil, he must have no love for anything, including a love for the sport of wrestling. It just seems wrong. You know what I mean?
Are we talking about Khali again?
Not sort of, but
Okay.
not really. I can almost see. Well, with Khali, you could imagine that Daivari's paying him off in meats. If you get in the ring and vanquish this foe, Funaki, I will give you prime rib.
I'll give you a lamb.
Sure. I can see something like that. You know what I mean?
Okay, sure.
Now, if Khali of his own volition wanted to be a grappler, that's absurd.
No good.
Absolutely ridiculous. And there are a lot of evil heels where I've thought that way, where a guy's really evil and he's like, next week I'm going to beat you in a grappling bout.
I will pin you.
Fucking so stupid. Sure, shouldn't you be wanting to commit a mass murder or a great robbery or something like that? Instead, you want to pin a man to the canvas for 3 seconds? Ridiculous. So anyway, the point is, Regal's supposed to be this heel, this diabolical, dastardly man. Yet, he's an honorable. There's honor among these thieves.
Yeah.
He made a bet, a verbal bet. He lost to a man in a pirate outfit, and now he's there putting on every costume this pirate asks him to put on. He's dressed as a bear. He's dressed as a cock. He's dressed as a gorilla. And then he ends up dressed as a wench. Why? Because he's keeping his word. What happened to heels who lied? In fact, Regal is willing to cheat. He's willing to cheat to get out of wearing this costume.
Yes.
Because the agreement is if the pirate loses, he doesn't have to wear this costume. He's willing to cheat to get out of wearing this costume, but he just won't fucking stop wearing it. He just won't not show up at the building. Does you realize how stupid this is?
It's very stupid.
Anyway, so they had a match against the Geminis. Highlight was the pirate came out and there was a loud pirate suck chant.
It really was the highlight.
Right then, the whole thing just broke.
It did.
It's just
whatever they were going for did not work.
It's all downhill from here. I guess Regal's new outfit was a fop.
Correct.
I wanted to see him wrestle as a bear.
Any of these would have been fine.
Just, I don't know. It was all so great until the pirates suck. I was like, all this they've done, and no one cares. And in fact, they hate the Pirate more than ever now, because they never chanted this before.
No, they don't. They like Regal, and they hate the Pirate, as anyone should.
You know, what it is nowadays, it's just not knowing how to connect with your audience.
That is for goddamn sure.
It's a different audience nowadays than it was even a year ago. And instead of going with it, instead of Vince McMahon's famous, I listen to the people.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
He does whatever he wants, and he gets angry when the people don't cooperate.
That's right.
Now he's shoving it down their throat. It's just another one. No one likes the babyface goofy pirate who's supposed to be a good guy. They all love Regal. Why? Because he's
funny.
He's dastardly, and he's just great.
Yeah.
And they think Miz is going to get over, which is the ultimate. If you ever want to know how out of touch WWE was, more so than Cena getting booed, Rey Mysterio getting booed, the Pirate getting booed, just you wait. Mike Mizanin, the cool guy.
I am
the
giddy
cool
with anticipation
guy.
for Mizanin walking out on SmackDown. Oh, God. It's going to be great.
So finally, actually, Miz showed up, and the network guy kicked him out of the building, and I wept at him being fired.
I know. For that, just right there, they should have made him world champion.
I hate that.
He kept Mike Mizanin from appearing on SmackDown. Go, Palmer Cannon.
So, anyway, it was time for the big celebration. The Arlington band came out. I presume not Arlington, Washington. I've seen the Arlington, Washington high school marching band, believe it or not, and they are not as good as these guys. So, I'd presume Arlington, Virginia. They came out, patriotic music played, balloons fell from the sky, Jillian was cheerleading, that sort of thing. JBL came out and said, "Is this it?" He could not believe he did not get a London Philharmonic, I believe, is what he requested.
I think at one point he demanded tenors.
Is Headlines on right now, or what's going on?
Yes.
Are you sure that's the only one?
Oh, no, it's not.
All right, so anyway, he fired her. You're fired, he said. She wept and fled, perhaps forever. And anyway, he cut a long, boring promo, the gist of which was that everybody saw him as real champion and not Ray. So out came Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle defended Ray. Ray came out. The whole deal is next week it's Angle versus Ray for the title. JBL wants the winner. In this three-way bitch fest, culminating in another classic deal where the two babyfaces attack the one heel. Mm-hmm. Your babyface champion is getting booed, so your solution is to have him and another babyface double team a single man.
Yeah.
So anyway, they did that. JBL was sent packing. Angle and Ray respect each other. What a shitty way to build up a match.
So sick of that. You know, they did the three-way with Benoit, Hunter, and HBK, and there were two babyfaces in the match, and they never talked about respecting each other. They were going to kill each other. They were out to win. Screw you.
We watched UFC with Bernard, and when a fight was over, I believe it was the Tito Forrest fight. When the Tito Forrest fight was over, Bernard, they shook hands and everything like that, hugged, whatever. Bernard goes, "That's what I like to see. I love to see the respect afterwards." And the key word is afterwards. Bernard didn't say, "Man, I sure wish they shook hands before the fight and hugged, talked about how much they loved each other, and then had a battle."
That would be bad.
No, Bernard wanted to see them beat the shit out of each other, and when it was over, respect each other.
Yeah. Because
that's how men operate. Vince McMahon, I don't know if he didn't get beaten up as a youth or what the deal was, but
I find that impossible to believe.
When you don't like a guy and you beat the hell out of each other, you do gain a little respect for them afterwards. And I think this was one of the keys to the Matt Hardy Edge thing, how they were able to do these matches together. They didn't trust each other. They hated each other. But after they beat the fuck out of each other at SummerSlam, no matter what either of them thought of each other, there was a bond. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
I guarantee there was a bond because they beat each other up. And nobody wants to see two guys respect each other before a match. They want to see them cut promos on each other about how they're going to beat the fuck out of each other. Then they want to see them do it, and then afterwards, sure, they can shake hands.
Yeah.
They formed a bond of blood and beating. Nobody needs to see this before a fight.
Before a fight, it's horrible. After the fight, it's always great.
I cannot believe how stupid some of this bullshit that we've been seeing, and it's all, the most annoying thing is it's all in pro wrestling, where you have absolute complete control. I don't see this kind of bullshit in UFC and Pride, which you can't control anything.
No.
You can book some matches, But even booking an open weight tournament, you're rolling the dice. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
The guy you want to win can lose. Andrei Arlovsky, do you really think they wanted Tim Sylvie to beat Andrei Arlovsky?
I
bet you
don't know.
$1 billion they didn't. And Andrei Arlovsky lost to this geek.
I'm sure when that happened, they said, dang.
You don't do a half-hour UFC All Access on Andrei Arlovsky if you're hoping he loses on Sunday.
Yeah.
Or Saturday night or whatever like that. And all this, and if you, UFC, their booking is so great. They build up fights. This whole year, every buy rate has been bigger.
Yes.
And this, well, I shouldn't say that. That's not completely true, but
They're doing very well.
this buy rate this last Saturday was probably the biggest ever. Hoist Hughes may be bigger than that. And then Tito and Ken, if it happens, will be even bigger than that one. Why? They're building up fights people want to see. They're building up animosity between human beings so that you want to see them fight each other. And WWE, which has absolute, complete control over every fucking single thing except if somebody dies or gets suspended, and they even have control over suspensions, for crying out loud. And they can't do it.
They can't do it right.
Which is going to bring us to TNA, which also can't do a goddamn thing right. SmackDown is from the UK. It was a good show. I can't call any show with a Ray Angle main event like the main event we saw a bad show.
That's fair, I guess.
Fine entertainment. There was a
lot of stuff to hate on this show.
I don't know if it was...
Maybe not a lot, but there was stuff to hate.
I don't know if it was so much stuff...
Maybe I'm just in a bad mood from Ohio Valley still.
I think you were in a bad mood. What was there to hate on the show?
Well, the buried the Englishman in his hometown again. Ray came out...
Go on. I'll rant about...
Ray had the match with Kurt and was saved by Mark Henry, but his title was saved. He was going to lose. He was in the ankle lock and had nowhere to go. And that's really the big thing to me, because when I heard that spoiler that he was in the ankle lock and ready to tap out, I thought, they've buried this guy so bad. And I actually went back and looked. And in this year, in 2006, on SmackDown and pay-per-views, Ray has pinned men 4 times and been pinned or submitted 5. So in the year, on the whole, he's a loser. He just happened to win the important one.
Perhaps someone is trying to prove me wrong when I said earlier in the year he's been protected and he would work fine as champion, because he has not been protected.
Oh, hell no. IMM had the great rant on our board about what a goof he's been portrayed as, and I can't top it. Everyone go to the board and read that one. But there's a thread about why Ray's being booed, and it's because he loses all the time and gets his butt saved by the general manager, and gets fluke wins. He's just bad. They just killed him.
The rant I about this show, I have a couple of rants. I was fine with the Regal thing because he did lose to JBL, but JBL is the U.S. champion.
Yeah.
It is conceivable that he could lose.
It was not a squash.
He wasn't going to win. And they did have a competitive match.
Yeah.
And it was a good enough match that I don't think Regal was hurt by it. I was fine with that.
Well, it was not long term. It's just all I could think was all these people in this building. The one thing they wanted to see tonight was they wanted to see Regal win. They didn't get it.
But I don't know. I guess you could have put him in a nothing match, but
they could have any goof on the roster, or they could have done Finley.
You also have to look at it this way though: is JBL's gimmick is this great American.
Yeah.
And he's going to cut the anti-American promo.
Anti-English promo.
And it's either going to be Regal or the Pirate.
Well, it should be Regal then.
Somebody from the UK has got to make the save, and you don't have a lot of options.
Yeah. And
they're protecting the Pirate, so this is just the way that things work. As for the main event, I wasn't even angry about the Ray thing because I'm beyond that now. I accept it now. I wasn't surprised. That is the reason he's booed. The thing that annoyed me most about the main event angle was you had Mark Henry run in for no good reason. And it was during the Molina match that I made the determination that there is good heat, which is ticket selling heat. There's bad heat, which is turn the channel heat. And then there's fuck off heat, which is I don't ever want to see you again. Mm-hmm. If I read that you got cut, I would rejoice and have a drink. Melina's got that heat with me now. I don't ever need to see her again. I've said this many times. I don't ever need to see her again.
You've mentioned this.
If I found out that she was working at the Top Food in Woodinville, which is my favorite store, I would never go there again.
Wow.
But I would rejoice that she's stuck working at Top Foods in Woodinville and not in the WWE anymore. And in some ways I feel bad for saying that because I'm sure WWE is encouraging her to scream.
I was going to say.
But I don't think that somebody just goes, I got this idea. Why don't you start screaming? I think she fucking screamed once and they got off on it. We're like, oh, you're going to scream every match now.
That's probably true.
So I blame her for this. I never need to see her again. Mark Henry got fuck off heat in the main event.
Yes, he did.
These guys were having a great match, and in walked Mark Henry to just ruin the whole thing. Everybody was irate. This was not, boy, can't wait to see Mark Henry get his. It was just fuck off, Mark Henry, fuck off WWE. Just all of you can just fuck off. That was this sort of heat.
And that was how the show ended.
No, it did not. It ended with Mark Henry beating up Kurt Angle, putting him on a table, and giving a splash off the apron. Now, Kurt Angle is complaining of neck issues, and all I can say about this is there's more to this story. There's more to the Kurt Angle story of going off the road. But I think why they did this is because he is going off the road.
Yeah.
And this is one of the big problems with the WWE. You've got a guy that's going to go off the road, and you need to do an angle to get him off the road. And instead of having a guy like Gunnar Smith, a guy like Booker T, who's probably pegged to be in the finals and perhaps win the King of the Ring, instead of somebody like that, you just have the biggest guy do it. Let's have Mark Henry injure Kurt Angle. And what are you going to get out of this? Are you going to make any money off of this? No.
Another shitty Kurt Angle Mark Henry match.
You're losing money because Kurt Angle's off the road, and he is a very popular man.
Yes.
Anybody that was going to buy a ticket to see Kurt Angle on a house show ain't buying that ticket now. He's not on the house show.
Mm-hmm.
And you're making no money off Mark Henry. You could at least try to make a money player out of somebody by injuring the world champion and taking him off the road. Is Kurt Angle going to be in a feud with Mark Henry for the title on pay-per-view when he comes back? They can't possibly be so stupid.
You know he's not champion.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he is. Keep forgetting that. But the point is, when Angle does return, is he going to be in a big program with Mark Henry?
And the answer, I'm afraid, is yes.
Is that going to sell a ticket? I can't wait to see Mark Henry get his...
Definitively no.
It's so stupid. They could make somebody out of this, and instead it's just, who's the biggest guy? And Mark Henry just got beaten by Count Out in the tournament, so he's already looking like a geek. So it's a final year of a 10-year deal that they try to get out of for 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's just flabbergasting to me that this company does shit like this.
And the fact that Kurt's going off the road, Ray still couldn't beat him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he could have beaten him. I mean, even...
No, instead Henry hit the ring, got the DQ, and then tossed Ray aside, and he was never seen again.
The man going off the road is almost beat the world champ.
Yeah, he was protected. The guy leaving. Stupid.
Now that I think about it, there could have been a natural explosion. Perhaps it was St. Elmo's fire.
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah. So that's impossible. It was a song in the 80s. Perhaps St. Elmo's fire knocked Vince on his ass.
It's a damn fine song.
If you could only see Vince dancing right now. This is a great song, St. Elmo's Fire. Then after about 11, I didn't need to ever hear that
The
song.
horns.
Whereas if St. Elmo's Fire came on the radio, you would crank that thing up.
I need a copy of this immediately.
Yeah?
Entirely likely.
St. Elmo's Fire.
Yeah! Wow. That was fine stuff. How could anyone not like that song? Seriously.
Vince.
Whoa, that's fucked up.
If you could have all seen Vince dancing during that song, No one was watching except me.
No,
You realize
I was
that.
dancing for my own joy. I wasn't doing it to entertain anyone.
Ridiculous. And who's the fucking soldier they're talking about in that song?
Who the hell knows?
Was there a major war in the 80s that I'm unaware of? Was this a soldier in the Cold War or
Certainly
something?
not in St. Elmo's Fire.
Jeez.
St. Elmo's Fire.
St. Elmo.
Yeah.
Do some research, Vince, for somebody...
Break his back,
Uh-oh.
make him humble, and then fuck his ass.
I can't imagine a show without an Iron Sheik drop, to be honest.
Everyone would quit.
What were we talking about?
Who cares?
SmackDown. I feel better now. I can get into it more. Not really anything else of any real value on this show. Fit Finlay had a match with Gunnar Scott. The real highlight of the show. By the way, for everybody that's listening to this right now that makes these wonderful drops for us, can we get some fucking Great Khali drops, please? I need some of his promos for this show.
He tonight, I believe, was trying to say Undertaker, and I swear to God, it came out Undertaker.
I know somebody here has to have lived in the California area and has, if you could only look at this, what the hell was that?
There's a beep outside.
If you could only look at what I'm looking at right now, which is the little lines that say what the audio levels are, your audio levels they're often low, and all of a sudden they'll just spike completely off the page because you shouted something right into the mic. I need to get one of these for you so you can look, or just look at that goddamn thing right there. That's what it's for. If it ever gets to the red, that's bad.
Okay.
A little louder,
I can't sit here and stare at this thing for an hour. I get bored.
I do it.
You're good.
Oh, well, what else are you going to look at? Me?
Well, you got a point there.
There's nothing else to look at. You can just keep an eye on that damn
I do
thing.
occasionally turn around and check the TV.
Why don't you do this? Why don't, if you're ever going to get too excited, keep an eye on that?
Okay, here's the way excitement works, Brian. You get excited, you lose control of yourself.
Well, let's try not to do that.
Okay.
I don't need you losing control of yourself on this fucking show. What was I talking about? Great
Smackdown.
Khali. We need more
yes.
Great Khali drops because, and like here's what I was saying. Somebody that lives in the California area, I'm sure, must have had some sort of run-in with the Great Khali. I need to know if that's his real voice.
Does he actually talk that way?
I've never actually asked this question. In fact, let me write that down. I'm going to ask this question. We'll get an answer for you guys on the next show. The Great Khali, whether or not he can actually speak. So that's going to be the plan. But he's a great man.
In a way.
In a way. I can't really even call him a great man. I just got to say that I hate the fact that I love the Great Khali.
There you go.
I have no other way to put it. But that's that. So really nothing else to mention about SmackDown there. Vinny, any other final comments?
I'm good.
SmackDown. It is Great Khali versus Rey Mysterio next week.
We'll get to that.
I don't know.
Let's go through the stuff. Do you want to talk about?
I don't really want to go over the whole show. The stuff of note, JBL announced Mark Henry versus Rey in the main event. That was horrifying. Booker T beat Gunnar Scott. Pretty much just beat him. Gunnar Scott barely got anything in the way of a comeback. And
Back to velocity with that young man.
Beaten clean with the axe kick. So this was I was going to say velocity. It was an Impact special. Got to keep everybody at the same level. He got the big win, much like Alex Shelley was briefly put in the main event and then just doing jobs on TV the next week. So
Yep.
sucks to be that guy.
For Christ's sake.
Then we had Eminem versus London and Kendrick, which never took place. When wackiness ensued, Eminem beat up the two men, I guess, to set up a pay-per-view match, which I was so happy to see this because we didn't have to listen to that bitch scream.
Yep.
And that's the whole deal.
I know you were.
I was overjoyed. Overjoyed. Don't even do it. You were looking right at the mic when you did that.
I turned away. That'd be my own mic. I'm sick, everyone, if you couldn't tell.
Can you imagine after just all these years, I could give a shit about looking at Eminem on TV? I don't even care. I never want to see him work.
It is amazing.
I never want to see him cut wacky promos.
I
don't ever want to see them on TV.
We almost canceled our trip to Cauliflower Alley because we wanted to see them debut on SmackDown.
That's right. And I don't even care anymore. I don't want to see them. I do not want to ever hear her scream again. She's ruined it for me. And someone else made a very good point last week that she totally kills the heat. She never screams when they're in turmoil. She screams when they hit a big move. So instead of them seeing the hot move and going, wow, look at that, and getting them over, your attention is diverted as bitch screaming.
All I know is I watch the shows with you, and so I watch the shows, their matches mostly in mute, and I often forget they're around.
because we mute the matches or skip them entirely.
That's right.
It is sad and heartbreaking. They were so great.
Shut up! That was directed towards Melina.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They've ruined them. I don't give a fuck anymore. They were so great in Ohio Valley, and they've managed to be ruined by an annoying manager. It's not even I want to see him get beaten. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him on my TV. I don't want to.
All because she screams.
Done with them. Then we had what the hell? Oh yes. Fit Finlay and Chris Benoit.
This was good.
It's the master of understatement. This was such a fantastic match. It was
awesome, yes.
I don't have enough good things to say about this match. They beat the hell out of each other. As mentioned earlier, Benoit's head got busted open. Top of the head, bleeding all over the place. Hit each other so hard. Worked MMA style. Benoit used the guard. All sorts of arm bars and that sort of thing. They went through a commercial break, and it was not till they came back that Benoit hit the ropes for the first time. Just to deliver an elbow, in fact. And it was just... And you know what? I didn't even have a problem with the finish. And normally I would have. But I did not have a problem with it tonight. The shalakalele or whatever came into play. Ref took it away as he was distracted. Finlay whacked Benoit on the chin with a chair, pinned him, and he is going to the finals. And I give this match a hearty thumbs up.
Oh, Jesus, yes. Yeah. I was trying to keep track. I actually missed Benoit hitting the ropes, but I counted 2 Irish whips into the turnbuckle and 1 missed top rope headbutt, and everything else they did was just fight. They exchanged holds and chops and headbutts on the mat. And it was great. It went about 15 minutes. They gave him plenty of time. And I was watching this thinking, and we had just finished watching the Pride show. And my first thought was, someone's going to say this match is realistic. And it's not. It's not like people think they're having an actual athletic competition. But it's not realistic, but it was believable. As in, you believed these characters really, really wanted to win the match. And that's what made it so great, and that's what makes almost everything on TNA, for example, utterly forgettable. And most of them on SmackDown too. And almost everything falls short of this match. But just the passion they had. It was just fantastic to watch. Simple, brutal, violent, wonderful stuff. Must-see television.
What do you mean by realistic?
Well, it wasn't realistic, but...
Yeah, it was.
Did you at any point think, wow, Chris Benoit and Fit Finlay are actually having a fight on TV? It was more realistic than Lucha Libre. It was more realistic than an X Division match, or it was more realistic than anything else you would see on the show this week. It did not really look like a fight. My point is...
Yeah, but it looked more like a real contest than anything else we've seen on a wrestling show in 2006. So I would have to say that's pretty realistic.
Well, okay, fine. It looks more realistic, but I like the word believable, because I believe the characters of Benoit and Regal wanted to win so bad.
Fine.
Okay.
I thought it looked quite realistic, in fact. I thought, you could look at that and it was like a fight. What you said.
Yeah.
Which means pretty realistic. They were having a fight. Plus, it was realistic because he fucking got his head busted open hard way.
Well, that's realistic.
Errant punch. Or not errant. It's probably a punch on purpose, but it was hard hitting. They beat the hell out of each other.
Yes.
I enjoyed it greatly.
I did too. Don't get me wrong.
I'm confused by your realistic statement. I don't even know what that means. Perhaps you're right. I disagree with your...
I'm just trying to put it into words. And as I mentioned, I'm horrible on spoken word. So maybe tomorrow I'll have.
Why don't you write it down while I go over whatever's next on here?
I need a keyboard.
You can do a written statement like Brent Kremen.
Now we'll just move on.
I actually want you to do a written statement at some point so you can preface it with...
As a Jew.
That was a great match. And the rest of the show pretty much blew. We did have the Kid Cash Nunzio Super Crazy deal, which the only redeeming thing about it was the run-in by the...
I'm not in USA!
Great Khali. Destroyed them all. I could never have imagined a month ago that a month from a month ago, meaning today, I could ever say... Just shut the fuck up and listen, please. I could never have imagined a month ago, looking forward, that a month later... You screwed it all up. I had it perfect, and now I can't remember what the hell I said. A month ago, I could never have imagined that in a month, which would be today, I would be saying every segment the Great Khali has been in has been great.
And it has.
Was your brain too small to comprehend that statement right there?
I didn't know if you were done or not.
Yes.
I want to make sure you were done, because if I interrupted again, you yell at me.
I don't ever yell at anyone on this show.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I must have been confused. I must have thought you were someone else.
I think it's just a self-esteem issue where you always feel like people are yelling at you.
Well, there's probably some merit to that, but I'm also not insane.
I didn't say you were insane. I said you had a small brain.
Will you shut up and move on with the goddamn show?
I actually pictured like a stegosaurus, a little walnut. You know those little books you looked at when you were little, and there's a
As I recall, the Stegosaurus actually had two brains, because its main brain could not actually function, so it had a second nervous system.
That's
operated.
Proof of God right there, actually. That as a rib, he gave this animal a brain that did not work
No.
to the point he needed an extra one. Anyway, the main event of the show was bullshit. It was Rey and Mark Henry. I will say this about Rey Mysterio. Is there a man that can have a better match with Mark Henry?
This show was so good until the last 2 minutes, and this match was fantastic until the very end, and then it just all went screaming downhill.
I have seen Kurt Angle. Actually, that's about the only other person I can think I've ever seen have a decent match, and it wasn't even a good match.
When did what? I remember Kurt Angle having a very bad match with Mark Henry.
Who else has had a good match with Mark Henry? Yeah, he had a horrible one at Royal Rumble. Who else has had a good match with Henry? Has Chris Benoit ever wrestled Mark Henry?
Probably.
I don't recall it.
No one else.
It must not have been horrible, because I don't recall, because
Yeah.
I remember off the top of my head every man that's had a bad match with Chris Benoit.
Billy Gunn and Kane.
Very short list.
I think that's the end of the list.
Revolution or whatever.
Who?
The fucking French Canadians. That tag match with Benoit and Jericho.
La Resistance.
La Resistance.
La Resistance, Kane, and Billy Gunn. I believe that's the entire list. And I saw him have a great match with Kane at a house show. So
yes,
he redeemed
himself on Kane.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he probably redeemed himself on at least Rob Conway. But
yeah, probably.
So it must not have been bad with Mark Henry, but I saw Ray have a fantastic match with Mark Henry about 4 months ago, which actually was the match that caused everybody to come to the conclusion. I should not say everybody. A number of people to come to the conclusion that Mark Henry was great, and they could not be convinced otherwise, based on a match with Rey fucking Mysterio Jr., who is a great fucking worker.
He is great.
And I should note that the Mark Henry is great threads died at the Royal Rumble. A very quick death. And have not since been revived. Although they'll probably be revived tonight because he had another great match with Rey Mysterio Jr. Anyway, the point is, Rey had another great match with the guy. And then he went for a springboard. Mark Henry caught him and slammed him and pinned the world champion clean.
Mm-hmm. Squish, squash, done, buried, dead, useless.
I have been ranting about the treatment of Rey for weeks now. Months, actually.
Really, yeah, since Rumble before.
Since February. No, he was fine up to Rumble. February on, they fucked it all up. Prior to Royal Rumble, I was petitioning every week, Rey must be champion.
I was right
Rey
with you.
must be champion. Rey must be champion. Starting in February, as they fucked everything up, I started to realize this ain't going to work. They've got to protect this guy. This is going to fail. And it's gotten worse and worse and worse. He won the title in a three-way without beating the champion.
Well, you can go before that.
He did a horrible job the week before.
Okay, let's go back. He lost his title shot to Randy.
He lost his title shot.
He was handed a shot back in the main event slot. He was put in by management. He tapped out clean Angle the week before WrestleMania.
In fact, in a match where he was supposed to prove he belonged, he
in a
was
match,
beaten
yes,
clean.
he proved to not belong. He goes into the main event at Mania. He pins Randy, who is not the champ, to win the title.
Sure.
He has the great match with Randy the week after. That was the only thing they've done right in the year with him, really.
He disappears from TV. They only air video packages.
Yes.
He's hidden backstage.
He's put another match with Angle and put in a position where it appears he's going to lose when Mark Henry inexplicably makes the save.
He cuts a promo this week saying he had been losing when Mark Henry ran in. He admits that he was defeated clean.
He cuts promos admitting that he's been lucky to have the belt this long and he could lose it at any time.
That's right. And then tonight he gets beaten clean by Mark fucking Henry.
Yeah. It's I mentioned I've gone back. He's been pinned more than he's pinned people this year. He's getting pinned by guys like Mark Henry. You put the plug for the Meltzer show on your front page this week where it said, Dave and I discussed how they've dropped the ball with Ray. And I read that and I laughed out loud. They have not dropped the ball. They've stabbed the ball like the guys in Ultimate Fighter did. Remember the basketball?
Yes, I remember the basketball.
Okay, yes. They stabbed the ball with Ray. They, as someone said, they hate money because they've buried Ray, and in the process they buried their own title. JBL will probably beat him at the pay-per-view, and who cares?
They have killed the belt. They've killed Ray. They've killed the belt.
They've killed the show. There's nothing on the show.
Well,
there's Benoit Finley.
I don't even know. They're idiots. This is the stupidest. Not even giving him a chance is the most fantastically annoying thing in the world. I pray for the Lucha Group to get TV in the U.S. and just take over.
That would be great.
Chances are very unlikely that's going to happen because WWE really does have so much going for it. Money, brand recognition.
They still do have 4
strong
hours
television,
on TV,
this, that, and the other thing. But by God, it just angers me that it's such an obvious, just give it a try. Give it a try with Ray. I mean, I had this discussion with Dave, and he's right. It is something about his size. There is something to it where you look at him, and he looks weird with the belt, particularly a belt that's so large.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There is something to that, sure. And there is something where Vince isn't going to give him a chance. But you know what? They should have tried. If they weren't going to try, they shouldn't have put the belt on him. Just try. It's better to try and fail than to not even try.
Ordinarily, I would argue that point, but in this case, I totally agree.
Why would you argue that point?
Well, because I think failing sucks. But
that's why you're not a businessman.
That's true. And these guys are businessmen, and they really had nothing to lose. If they had pushed Ray to the moon and had him pitting guys right and left, having great matches every week, which he would have done, and it couldn't have hurt, and if they had done all that, and he had still failed, and there was still a backlash, and people started to boo, and they weren't making any money, then fine. But they didn't do that. They sabotaged the whole thing.
If you try and fail, actually, I'll let you say this. If you try, even if the chances of failure are 99%, let's say the chance of failure with Ray were 80%.
Okay.
If you try, the chances are 20% that maybe this will hit, and you'll make some money, and maybe it'll even be a gigantic hit.
Okay.
If you don't even try, the chances of failure are 100%.
Right.
Vince.
I agree with that.
All right, well, perhaps this is the story of your life as well, now that I've heard you say you normally would argue this point. You've got to try, dude. I don't think there's anything in this world that you can't have at least a 1% chance of success. Yet, if you don't even try, you've got a 0% chance of success.
I can't argue with that.
With Rey Mysterio, they've given him a 0% chance of success.
Absolute zero.
In fact, this isn't not even trying. They've attempted to destroy him, it appears.
And I would say they succeeded.
I mean,
rather handily.
If they would have said, Brian, I want you to book a program where we destroy Ray Jr. and the belt,
it would have gone a lot like what they've done.
I don't even know if I could do better than what they've done, to be honest with you. I mean, I'd probably think, all right, who could I have beat Rey Mysterio that would just be fucking stupid? Mark Henry. Oh shit, they did it.
There you go.
They did what I would have done.
Third time this year, Mark Henry has pinned Rey Mysterio.
Just absolutely. And it gets worse. The show went off the air with Mark Henry about to kill Ray, and JBL said, no, don't do it. I promise, when I win the belt, you'll get the first shot. And I thought, all right, so let me get this straight. Next week on the show, we've got the fucking Great Khali against Rey Mysterio. And down the road, we've got to look forward to Mark Henry versus JBL.
God, I hadn't thought about that part until right now. That sounds horrible.
On that note, SmackDown. SmackDown was a show where, for the first hour and a half, it's just a SmackDown show.
There were reports coming in this was the worst SmackDown of all time.
It was not the worst.
Going in with that mindset, everything seemed okay.
They had a deal with JBL and Eddie. I believe
you mean Ray.
I'm sorry, Ray. I do that. I'll do it till
You've done it since Halloween Havoc 95.
I will do it until the day that I die. I actually spoke to the person who I think designed this angle. Mm-hmm. It's actually not somebody in WWE. A friend of Ray's.
Okay.
Perhaps. And the idea they had was, and I told him this, I said, this is so great. it ain't happening. It will not work. The idea was actually very similar to what they did on SmackDown, except it would happen at a press conference in San Jose with children everywhere. JBL would come out and be ranting and raving and shit like that and run down the Mexicans, and Ray would come out to defend their honor. And the whole gimmick was that he had to attack JBL immediately, beat the hell out of him, have them both be separated, and JBL got no offense in and just got ran off by the little Mexican.
Yep.
That's pretty much what they did here. But JBL... Ray had to get the offense by kicking him in the nuts, and he beat on him for a while, and I don't think JBL, there was just something about when he ran up the ramp, he just ran up the ramp like a fly attacked him.
He
was sort of selling, but he was more selling like he was out of breath. It wasn't like he'd been beaten badly.
Yeah, it didn't quite work. It was mostly okay. JBL's promo was awesome. And then Ray came out to kick his ass. I don't know, maybe he beat him up too long before the help got there. But you're right. JBL looked like he was running because they were late to commercial more than anything else.
Yeah, it was like a child had overwhelmed him. There wasn't. The key to this is
they need to make Ray look like a threat.
They need to make it like if you push Ray too hard, no matter what you think of him as an underdog or small, if you push him too hard, he'll kick your ass. I think they want to show that the Latino heat.
Yes.
Eddie Guerrero. They want to show that machismo. And this didn't quite show it. But I will say this was the best thing they've done with Ray yet.
The only good thing they've done this year was his first title defense against Orton.
Sure. He just came out and beat the hell out of JBL and sent him packing.
And that was it.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs way up.
So then we had a three-way Kid Cash, Nunzio, Super Crazy, Crazy One, title shot against Shane Helms. Nothing match, nothing Angle. We'll pass it. Gemini and two jobbers. We'll skip that. Angle did a deal where he wanted to fight Mark Henry. God knows why. And Teddy Long ended up signing him to a match at the pay-per-view. And by the way, looking at the lineup for this pay-per-view,
it sucks.
I know we just ran down the TNA booking. But like we said, the pay-per-view is going to be good, and if you got to choose between TNA and WWE,
sacrifice.
You may want to
go with sacrifice.
You may want to get that sacrifice pay-per-view.
Jesus Christ!
A great Colleen Undertaker, Angle and Mark Henry, Ray and JBL. Ray and JBL might be fine, but
Crazy and
Crazy
Helms.
and Helms will be a nothing match. Old Melina and
Jillian Hall.
And the chick, Jillian Hall.
Eminem against Kendrick and London will probably be okay.
Let me actually look at the lineup here.
I think that's everything.
Mark Henry, Angle.
Bullshit.
Eminem, Spanky, and London. Probably be all right. Melina and Jillian Hall will be bad. Booker and Lashley might be all right.
All right.
Probably be pretty good. Colleen Undertaker.
Hell.
Atrocious.
Hell on earth.
And Ray and Bradshaw. So.
Yeah.
Not the best.
Maybe you should just walk Sacrifice 2 weeks in a row.
Not the most stellar lineup. So, then we had some See No Evil stuff. I will say this. They're doing a hell of a job of promotion.
Yeah, they are. And we've talked about
everyone
knows May 19th.
Everyone knows May 19th. The movie, everybody, I don't think everybody knows it's bad. They've done a hell of a job trying to convince you it's going to be scary.
There's certain people, especially in horror fans, who they will, because they had the night vision shots of people watching the movie and screaming and hiding their face and stuff. And there's certain people, and particularly among horror fans, who will just like any movie.
Yeah.
And they've gotten those people on camera.
Well, if you are a horror movie fan, it's sort of a given you're going to like any movie. Because there are a lot of bad ones. But then we had a great thing with Booker T.
Great thing with Booker T.
One of the few reasons to watch this show. Booker and Sharmell were just so awesome. They were just so awesome. And Booker just basically came out and said, I'm going to give Angle 10 seconds to come back out and have the match with me so I don't have to win by forfeit. Of course, Angle had already been escorted out of the building. So he won. He got his 10-second countdown, which he did very dramatically. Mm-hmm. Did a huge celebration, hitting the ropes like Ric Flair. I was hoping he'd drop an elbow. Or I was hoping he'd hit the ropes and then do like a bounding run up to the top rope and just do a Harlem Hangover and miss. Yeah. Just land on his back. And then do a spin-a-rooney, which he did.
He did the spin-a-rooney. They played his music. He celebrated with Sharmell. They were all happy. It was a great, great, great scene. And all I can say is they need to do this angle every week.
Woo! That's from Honky. He loved
Booker
it too.
needs to come out. Booker and Sharmell need to come out. Booker needs to call out someone who is clearly not going to show up. And he can call out Tom Cruise. He can call out George W. Bush. He can call out Osama bin Laden. And the person will not come out, and they'll play Booker's music, and he will celebrate, and everyone will be happy.
And I was thinking about that in and of itself would be enough to entertain me. But they could actually build this up because one day he could go out there and he could do this and he could call out Batista. And people will say there's no way Big Dave's coming out. And then they'll play Big Dave's music and he'll run out and Booker T will run away and they can go right into that thing.
Well, that thing ain't happening.
Well, there's a flaw in the plan.
But that's actually a better booking idea than the one I had, which was that he calls out.
Wow, I don't think you've ever said that before.
No, I was thinking, who was it? Somebody, Bob Mould, I think it was. He was like, when I was on creative in WCW, someone else said this too. Somebody on the board can correct me or add this person's name, but somebody was like, I always just came up with the stupidest ideas possible as a joke, and they ran with them. And I kind of see if I were on the booking crew, that's exactly what I was going to do. I was thinking, who are the stars that you mentioned that would never come out?
Tom Cruise, George W. Bush.
I was thinking, what if he was calling out these people, and one day he called out Tom Cruise, and Tom Cruise actually showed up. And tried to give him the rub, you know?
Exactly what WCW would do.
Sure. That was my first
Except
thought.
it would be Gary Coleman.
It would be Gary Coleman. That's the hack they'd get at the end. But yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with him calling out people every time. And I just thought if you actually had him call out somebody and a mainstream star came out, he might get a rub, you know?
It's possible.
It'd have to be a sports star so they could whoop him for a little bit. But then you'd have to have a pay-per-view match where Booker would beat the guy, but so anyway, that was the great tease. It was fine stuff.
Yay tease.
Lashley and Finlay in the King of the Ring match. This was real good. It was a different kind of match. I think the fans weren't ready for a house show match on a TV taping. That's what this was.
Okay.
Basically, there were a couple isolated, boring chants, that sort of thing. I was hoping that Lashley and Finlay would go in the crowd and beat the hell out of these people, but they didn't. Lashley is so great with Finlay because Finlay will hit him really hard, and he'll get hit really hard back in return, and it's good stuff. They work so well together, and I'm not going to get into the big rant about why. Well, just go on. Your thoughts on this match?
Well, I didn't like it as much as you did. The first part to me, the crowd did not care about the mat wrestling at all, and the complete lack of heat killed it for me. I think this match was a really good 5-minute match that was preceded by 10 minutes of not good chain wrestling.
Well, you got to train Lashley. You could argue that he shouldn't have been trained on TV.
Okay.
But he needs to be trained.
Yeah.
And really, I don't have a problem with this.
Yeah.
Because I do think that if you're going to do long matches with Lashley, they should probably not be on TV. But this was a semi-main event of a high-profile tournament.
They were kind of in a position where they had to go long.
You can't do a 5-minute match.
Yeah.
If you want to do Goldberg again, you can. But Goldberg had severe limitations because of all his short matches.
Yes.
If you want to, and I love the finish, by the way.
Oh, the finish of this match?
Finish was great.
God, it was great.
But I was fine with the length.
Yes, the finish of this was Finlay whacked Lashley with a chair, and Lashley ignored it and speared him and pinned him.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
And then we had Ray and the Great Khali, which was... I didn't even really get that mad.
No, well...
Because I'd been prepared for 4 days.
Yeah.
I got mad on Tuesday night. And I was still mad Wednesday, and every time... I think it's just a lot of... What it was I got a lot of communication from a lot of different people, and they were all very, very vociferously angry about it.
Yeah.
And I think I just sort of absorbed all that.
Yeah.
So when I finally watched it, it was just like, well, it's exactly as retarded as I thought.
When I heard about it, I've been angry about the booking of Ray for months now, and at this point, I am no longer angry. I am broken.
I couldn't even...
If you deliberately tried to bury Ray, you couldn't do a better job than they've done.
No. I couldn't deliberately bury him any worse.
And it's got to the point...
you could say you could have just beaten him for the belt. No, this is worse.
No, this is significantly worse. Are you kidding me? If he had lost that match to Orton, we had not seen him since, that would have been better in the long run.
We've killed Ray. Mm-hmm. We've killed the belt.
Oh, you've just buried the belt deep beneath the earth.
Killed the Hispanic audience.
Yes.
We've killed the future potential.
You've killed the children.
You've killed the children. You've potentially killed the show, because by killing the Hispanic viewers, you've killed the rating.
Yeah.
And they need that rating. And the rating is already being hurt by preemptions from TV stations that don't give a shit and want to tank UPN ratings.
They want to watch baseball?
They need all the help they can get. And if all the help you can get is peaking Hispanic numbers...
This is the wrong way to do it.
This is the wrong approach. When I saw Great Khali walking up the ramp, all I thought was, this show won't make it through the year. That was my first thought. SmackDown will die this year. And I'm sure, actually I shouldn't say I'm sure, but I suspect it won't. But that was my first thought, was this show's dead. This show is dead.
There's no reason to disagree with you.
And we can look back to this as one of the turning points, not the turning point. There's been plenty of idiocy.
And if you call it a turning point, it's just another brick in the wall. But
big brick.
Yeah.
This is a big one.
It's you know, I mean, when they started this angle, we all figured, okay, JBL's winning the belt from Ray at Judgment Day, and they'll move on. And whether that's the best idea or not, who knows? But now it's to the point where you almost think Ray may win a Judgment Day, but if he does, so what? It won't matter. He's still nothing. He's still insignificant. And if JBL wins, he's beaten nothing.
You see, the thing is, JBL has to win. Because if JBL wins, yes, he beat nothing. But if JBL loses, he lost to nothing, and there's nothing.
And there's nothing.
So
we've never. Well, I should ask you. Maybe ask Dave. Has any company ever done anything more self-destructive in their booking? Probably.
Oh yeah. Well, David Arquette.
Even that was not designed to fail.
It wasn't. This wasn't designed to fail. They think this is working. That's the idiocy of it.
That's sad.
And it was the same thing with David Arquette. SmackDown. Eminem, Melina facing Jillian Hall, Brian Kendrick, Paul London. Good opening match. It was it was good stuff.
They kept the chicks out of the ring for about 10 minutes, and then when they finally tagged in, the place just went crazy.
I need the drop of Shiki going, good-looking woman. And I can't find it.
Uh-oh.
I don't think I actually have it.
Oh, well, that could be a problem then.
I have it in a song. This is just going to be a variety show today.
That was a great feeling.
I need songs and happiness on this weekend. And this is my favorite song.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Brem, you are another faggot son of a bitch.
Well, I can see your point now.
Oh, this ain't the one with the drop. Wow.
I'm a shooter, man.
We're going to listen to it anyway.
All right.
Come on, I just want you to pet it.
And I didn't do it because for the God and Jesus.
Go like this. Come on.
Suplex him, put him in the camel clutch, break his back, and then fuck his ass and make him humble to hear the smack out of you.
Why? You're the only one that uses it except Brent.
You are worse than Hulk Hogan.
Give him a kiss.
I break your back and I do all country big.
Such a dick.
Sorry.
Besides that, everything was great.
Great.
The road will own you.
Where's the one with the good-looking woman? The girl that was at the front counter. Here we go. She was sort of tall, and she had two pretty darn good little matches to her.
Yeah?
Good-looking woman, very pretty woman.
Good-looking woman, he says.
There we go. That's all I wanted. I don't know what the hell I had to do with anything.
I have no idea either.
This is just becoming a variety show, the Brian and Vinny Show. Little song.
A variety of various poor forms of entertainment.
You know what we need on this show is a webcam. I've been saying this for a long time, but we need to do the Brian and Vinny video show. That may be coming up in about a year when everyone's internet's all sped up. Maybe a little too early for a lot of people. Some people still aren't even on DSL yet, which flabbergasts me, but I want a straw hat. You know that card we saw yesterday, the Nacho Libre card? I want an outfit like that. I want a little straw hat and a little jacket that's a little too small and a bow tie and some wacky pants and shoes and a cane. And I could do a little dance, and we could play the little Shiki song, and we just, sing and dance on the show.
That's more fun than talking about wrestling, that's for sure.
It's way more fun half the time.
I would say all the time.
Especially when Melina screamed like a banshee during this match.
You still hate that then?
You know what? I'm secretly cackling now because she's fucked. The big Melina burial's coming up. You just mark my words.
All right.
Just mark my words. And I will laugh. I will laugh and I will cackle as her team and Melina gets just buried left and right.
You're a cruel man.
Oh, no, I'm not. I am not. They brought this on. Actually, Melina's brought this all on herself. So you reap what you sow in this lifetime.
I'm due for a lot of good stuff then. That's all I can say.
I don't know.
Oh, I do. I've reaped what others have sown against me.
It's your own fault.
How bullshit.
Well, I don't know.
want to talk about that right now.
Wow.
I'm annoyed.
Why?
Because Sean's brother got strangers to call me gay last night.
It's still bothering you?
Yes.
They were drunk. They don't even remember today.
Valid.
Lashley and Jared Steele, he just killed him. I was fine with this. It was good stuff. They got to do this with Lashley. I like the spear. Much better than the Dominator.
Yes. 1,000 times better finisher.
You need a finish you can just hit anyone with out of anywhere, and even large men.
Yeah.
And the spears, he's Goldberg.
Sure.
Instead of doing the jackhammer, he does a delayed suplex, and then he does a spear.
It looks better. It fits better. It's more. You can do more with it.
He's Goldberg 2006. There's nothing wrong with that as long as he does long matches on the road, so he's capable of doing them on pay-per-view. Everything will be fine.
Yay.
Finlay and Booker T versus Chris Benoit and Gunnar Scott. This match was about 85 minutes long. Still 5 stars more than CM Punk and Brent Albright on Ohio Valley. They had about 9 hot tags in this match. Mm-hmm. They put Gunnar Scott over very strong overall. He was hanging with the big guys, but they did beat the hell out of him forever. He sold quite a bit. And then he ended up pinning Booker T when Booker T was distracted by Lashley, which makes me happy because that probably means that at the pay-per-view Sunday, Lashley's doing the L-Job ski, and we're going to have King Booker T and
Booker of T.
Queen Charmel.
That would make me ecstatic.
So that's going to be some good stuff. So anyway, I was fine with this match. Big thumbs up. So far, so good on the show. It was great. Then it got even better. The Great Khali came out and cut a promo in Great Khali.
Darkov, mother god! You! Undertaker! You! Rest! And...
I demand Great Khali sings.
It's even more funny listening to him than it is watching him and listening to it. You know what I mean? It's funnier when you don't see the Great Khali and you just listen.
Yeah.
I'm starting to understand the Great Khalis.
You're translating it. You picked up that he said rest in peace immediately.
That's right. I have started to be able to. I may just be learning Indian. I'm not sure which it is. But anyway, it will be the Great Khali and the Undertaker on Sunday at the pay-per-view. The
Ring of the King!
The Ring of the King. That's this coming Sunday on pay-per-view.
No! No! No!
Now?
Now what? You know now what? Be-woom. I cannot, in fact,
translate that.
Translate that. They translated that one as Ungawa, USA. I don't think that's what it is.
They need a shirt that's just an actual size photo of the Great Khali's head.
Yeah,
scowling.
With the Ring of the King underneath it. Ring of the King! I love the Great Khali.
Who cannot love the Great Khali?
You know
watching him walk to the ring without moving as just walking straight, erect, up and down, all the way down.
Did you just say erect?
That came out wrong. But yes, moving at the hips and shoulders only, like a Ken doll.
What?
He has no joints in his body.
You have just called the Great Khali An erect Ken doll.
Yeah, I did say that.
I didn't get involved with the too many gay people like Pat Patterson, whatever the Steve
The
Lamborghini.
Sheik does not approve of that
I
behavior.
never respect the gay. I never respect the fag.
An erect Ken doll.
Yeah. I hate radio. I fucking hate radio. This show sucks. This website sucks. You listeners suck.
The night is just beginning, dude.
Oh, God.
I can't believe you just buried the listeners when you're going to have to rely on them to vote you
I
and
changed
Sean.
my mind. I changed my mind. I retract the challenge. You win. I don't want any part of this show anymore.
Wow. You know the other great man who I love listening to speak, but I don't ever need to see him work? You. I was actually talking about Mark Henry.
Oh, okay.
Although you sort of fall into that category, you know?
You'd rather hear me speak than see me
Sure,
work?
you
Fair
say
enough.
funny things all the time, like you wreck Ken doll, and oh god. Do you want a happy song? We'll finish
None
with
of your songs make me happy.
Oh, we'll finish with one that'll make you happy.
Well, the Owapo song, that makes me happy.
We'll finish
Take
with
that back.
My Name is Owapo, but anyway, Mark Henry did also cut a great promo, but unfortunately he worked. He killed Matt Hardy dead.
This is okay. You're acting like this is the worst match ever.
It wasn't a bad match,
It was
but
fine.
he killed Matt
Hardy.
I give up.
It was MH versus MH, and MH won.
Okay. Then we had the Pirate, Nunzio, and Big Vito.
Vito saved this. And never did I think I would say those words, but Vito definitely saved this.
He really did.
You are without doubt the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
The Pirate went up to tell Nunzio he'd seen a man in drag, and it was Big Vito. And Big Vito, meanwhile, was on the phone
It doesn't
with
matter what the pirate said.
whores.
Vito was in the background having the most animated telephone discussion anyone's ever had.
You know what this reminded me of was See No Evil, when they had the actors act on Monday a few weeks back. But also when they had the Miz and the chick, Ronnie, come out, and it was like somebody said, I want you to go out and watch their match. So instead of just going out and watching the match, they had to act. So they went out there and they stood side by side and they leaned on one leg and they crossed their arms together simultaneously.
Miz started rubbing his chin.
Yeah, they started
thoughtfully
scratching their chin. And
that was Brian's actual stubble.
That's right. I was acting.
Yes.
I was scratching my chin on the air. But yeah, that's what they did. So that was classic. So anyway, Vito's apparently he is a gay man in drag.
He's a drag queen.
You are fag. You are punk, little gay.
So anyway, that's going to be quite a little deal. So finally, JBL came out, and long story short, he tricked Ray Jr. into saying May 19th. I keep thinking the date's May 18th, so they haven't done a perfect job.
Maybe you're just dumb.
Maybe I have flashbacks to fucking May 18th, 1980, when fucking Mount St. Helens went off and I could have been killed.
You were 5.
Yeah.
I assure you, you're not having flashback to me.
I remember where I was when that happened. I was in a boat out on, like, Puget Sound.
Did you actually see it?
I don't think I saw it, but I remember that's where I was, at fucking 5. One of my only memories before 19. So maybe that's why I remember May 19th, 18th.
Yeah, okay, good.
You may blow me now, Vince.
No, thank you.
We need sound effects of a zipper going down. Hold on a second.
Well, this sucks.
Somebody can make a drop.
We are now at 7th grade humor.
Oh.
This show.
I don't care anymore.
Should we apologize for this one?
No, you know what it is? I figured this out.
It's because it's this fucking long weekend. We have 6 hours of wrestling to go this weekend, and then Monday, and we're all going insane.
And it's hot. Well, besides the fact that my long weekend started Thursday night at 7:30 and is still going nonstop today at now 4:55 p.m. Poder Empire time, I used to take a lot of caffeine. A lot of it. Like, there were periods, particularly when I was dieting, that I would have 800 milligrams of caffeine a day, which is a lot.
I see.
And so I sort of started weaning off after a while. And then there were days where, like on Tuesday, which is newsletter day, I'd take 100 milligrams of caffeine just to, give me a little jolt and get me going to finish the newsletter. And then I even tapered off that. So nowadays, I have no caffeine.
Huh.
I mean, when I have like a Diet Coke, I make sure I have caffeine-free Diet Coke.
I have noticed that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can get caffeine-free Diet Coke with lime, all sorts of wacky. But anyway, when we went to Kentucky Fried Chicken today, I had a pop.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
it had caffeine.
4 hours later, I'm still wired
I
because
see.
of that tiny bit of caffeine. That's what happens to your body when you wean off drugs. So I've been told.
Well, you're definitely retired from wrestling then.
That's right. We'll see what happens tonight at Pinnacle, though. The night's young. We have a lot of injured friends going. So anyway, where were we?
I don't care.
Yeah, you do.
I've given up.
The main event of the show, May 19th, Kane came out and killed Rey Mysterio and JBL.
And JBL and SmackDown. It just sucks to be SmackDown.
The end of the show was the SmackDown brand on the final show before the big SmackDown pay-per-view. The world champion and the challenger for the world title were buried by a movie star.
Yeah.
A Raw movie star.
Yes.
An upper mid-carder.
Yes, it was exactly like TNA setting the last pay-per-view by having Kane show up and bury Christian in an abyss. It was the exact same thing.
This was even stupider, I think, than when Great Khali killed... Well, no. I won't go
No, that was stupider. But
I will say this. Great Khali killing Rey was much dumber long-term. Short-term, this was 10 times dumber.
I would even disagree with that, because this was at least exciting.
No, because...
This had heat.
But at least short-term with Great Khali, you only killed the champion. You still had a strong challenger.
Kinda.
This short term, you have a pay-per-view Sunday, and they killed not only the champion, but the challenger and the brand. That is much dumber short term.
It's definitely dumb.
Long term with Rey, they killed Rey, the belt, the town, the Mexicans, everybody.
I'm not cool enough for that.
Oh, fuck, you're not. SmackDown. What'd you think of SmackDown? We're just going to fucking race through this show.
There was a lot of stuff to like on this show.
Yeah, it was a good show.
I can't think of anything terribly bad or stupid, so yeah, thumbs up for SmackDown.
Yeah, they did the JBL Lashley title change where JBL was ranting at Rey and said, you said you'd take on all comers. Rey said, what about you? JBL said, sure. Lashley came out. JBL was petrified. They tried the Ultimate Warrior Honky Tonk Man deal where it went a minute. Actually got a huge pop.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing in 2006 is the man makes the belt and not vice versa. We've learned this in many different companies. And with Lashley doing the slow Goldberg deal over the next several months and hopefully through WrestleMania, keeping the belt on him, that's going to make that belt mean something. And that's a big thumbs up.
A fine idea.
Nothing was happening with it on JBL.
That's absolutely true.
At least because JBL, the thing is, it's sort of a fine line. When you want to have the belt on a big name because it makes the belt mean something, but if you've got the belt on your main eventer and he never defends the belt, he's always in a feud for another belt or something of that nature, it sort of makes the belt useless. It's just like he's holding on to it as a toy.
It's just his prop.
If you can get it on a guy that's right under the top guy, like a Lashley, where he's actually going to defend it on TV every week and beat guys every week and be dominant, then you're making a belt and you're making a champion, and that's good stuff. So thumbs up for that little segment right there.
Definite thumbs up.
We had Long and JBL having an argument. They agreed to do JBL and Rey tonight for the title. If JBL loses, he leaves SmackDown. That I give a thumbs down to. That's something you could have built up for a couple of weeks, and instead they just gave it away for free. Don't even tell me
they could have done it last night, or last night, the pay-per-view last Sunday.
They could have, but I would have actually preferred if they waited a week or two, because at least you can try and get 2 good ratings out of it.
Yeah.
If they would have just wasted it on pay-per-view, they weren't going to add any buys, I don't think. But you can potentially add viewers by a 2-week build over this match. So instead, they gave it away for free with a finish.
A 90-minute build, yeah.
So Tatanka returned, squashed whoever the fuck he squashed. Simon Dean. Whatever. He's a Lakota now. Apparently he was a Chinook earlier or something.
That's a fish.
I'm not sure exactly. It's a tribe, you idiot. I don't know.
It's also a fish.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know if what exactly the whole deal was. If he transferred membership in tribes or something.
They said he's officially a member of the tribe now, which I wonder if I can do that. If I show up and I want to go through some ceremonies and be a Lakota tribe, would they let me?
If a Lakota actually,
they probably just.
A Lakota could. I'm gonna sneeze.
Disaster. Yeah. What's happening? He's frantically searching for a
And
drop.
Hammer started to do the medicine, and he passed the medicine to me, and I passed the medicine to win the victor. So we all three, we did the medicine, and after that, and Mullah said, shit,
You all right?
I don't like that shit in the car.
I'm better now.
Sheik's always there when you need him.
I believe if you found a Lakota, he could give you an initiation and make you an official tribal member.
Wow.
I'm actually waiting for that to happen. I would love...
Me?
No, me.
Oh, okay.
Geek.
They would
Who
know.
the hell?
No group would invite me in to join.
Yes.
No ethnic, cultural, nothing.
If we have any tribes listening, hook a brother up here. I'm going to add that to my my resume. Official Lakota.
Certified.
That's right. It's exactly what it is. A certified member of the...
Lakota Nation.
Sure, exactly. So, anyway, that was his big re-debut after renewing his vows of...
Indianness.
Sure. I bet Wayne's wife actually could... Because she's Native American.
I know she's Native. That's all I know. So you'd have to ask her. You're really thinking about this now.
I really am.
You're not even doing the show. You're like clicking web links.
I'm looking around now for more information on how I could get myself... I'm looking for an Oglala, actually, because I'm a big fan of black elk.
I see.
I'd like to be the next black elk as I get a little bit older.
Now, tell me about the Oglala. I know that they're an Indian tribe. That's all I know.
Black elk was a famous medicine man, spiritual leader.
Where they lived?
Sort of the Midwest area.
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
Plains Indians?
Sure, somewhere around that area. I don't know exactly where it is. There are tribes everywhere.
I know.
He was not from this area.
Okay.
I know that. Where were we?
Tatanka.
Oh, God. He's no black elk. I just wanted to throw that out there.
He's not a great Indian leader?
He's no Sitting Bull either. They were comparing him to Sitting Bull, and I was like, I want to shoot you with an arrow for such a comparison. Then we had Mark Henry coming out. The dudes from 3-8 Mafia played a song. 3-8.
3-6 Mafia.
Really?
Yes.
Let's just look at SmackDown, because I...
You get the flipper?
Give me the clicker.
Where the hell did it go? You had it.
Go find it.
Where the hell?
Oh, it's on the floor.
Yeah, by you.
It's a fag. I think we're going to... everyone hates the Sheik drops, but fuck off.
Since they found out Ultimate World,
That one ain't long
after 29 years I'm with Nicola, and that jabroni break my heart because the wood chairman take me to buy dates. After 29 years I'm
so
with Nicola,
passionate he's repeating
and
himself.
that jabroni break my heart because the wood chairman take me to buy dates. I asked Nicola, can you give the wood chairman $2? I don't have a change with me. All
Wheel
$100
chairman.
bill I have. Swear to God, that jabroni Nicola, worse than Hulk Hogan. He's another gold digger. And that Jew jabroni, he didn't give the wood chairman $2. And that way Nicola get hit with me. And I never respected Nicola after that because I'm the man. I make the money. Money doesn't make me. Money gonna be here, Nicola. You and that faggot Hulk Hogan, you gonna be gone for a million years. And Hulk Hogan, after I drop my belt to that jabroni, and he promised me he gonna call me that low-life gold digger faggot. He didn't call me, and he broke my heart Islamic way, and also you,
The
Nicola.
Islamic way.
I booked you 702 hours with my countryman, Mr. McNamee, in the Las Vegas, Nevada, the most famous cousin in the world, and you didn't give the wood chairman $2 because all my money was $100.
That's an 8.
That's a 6.
All right, fuck it. My glasses.
No! He didn't have 100, Mr. Maloney.
See, I need new glasses.
The number 6 can't easily be confused with an 8.
It is, see? I knew it was 3-6 Mafia.
They won an Oscar, you know.
I was fucking with you. So anyway, they did a hell of a job.
That sign says 6. So.
I give it 3 thumbs up. In fact, I would be fine with Mark Henry being the world champion if they played his music every week.
There's something so cool about having a live band do music for guys.
It is. You seem like you're the man.
Yeah, when Motorhead did Hunter's theme, or when whatever the hell that DX band's name was did the DX theme.
And by the way, anybody that says Mark Henry should be champion based on his performance tonight can blow me.
You are wrong.
He deserves to be champion because his music was played by 3-6 Mafia. The match tonight was all Chris Benoit, and sweet Jesus did he do a hell of a job.
He's the man.
He was... Bum shoulder, he fucking pulled out a really good match against Mark Henry. Mark Henry destroyed him afterwards. Benoit did a 5-star job selling. There's nothing this man cannot do.
Oh, no.
I've determined.
No, Chris Benoit sells injuries like maybe no one else.
It was great.
He gets that glassy-eyed look.
Yes.
Just he breathes,
Randy Orton actually does a hell of a job, too.
Orton's good, too. But, yeah.
Ben, this was an old school angle where children probably were watching this and will remember this in 20 years.
Because all that happened, the only thing I didn't like about this was they put Henry over as the monster who killed Benoit, basically, but they didn't let him just win the damn match. They could have done that first. But anyway, they were fighting outside, and Henry hit about 3 or 4 avalanches into the post, and then a couple spine busters into the post, and that was really about it. But then Benoit just, he came up bleeding from the mouth, and then he did the sell job, which is the big thing.
Yeah.
He just laid there with eyes wide open, gasping for breath, moaning whenever anyone tried to move him.
Huge thumbs up.
Big giant thumbs up.
London and Kendrick versus Nunzio and Vito was just whatever. Fit Finlay killed the Pirate, and then...
This is the greatest segment in the history of wrestling. This was so awesome. First of all, Finlay killed the Pirate in like 2 minutes, and there's nothing better than that, until Finlay went outside, and he looked around, made sure everyone was watching him, and then he lifted up the apron in the ring, and he gestured. A green light shone from under there, and out scampered a midget.
A green light, by the way.
Yeah, there was a green light under the ring.
Yeah.
Just cause. So, this frantic little midget came out. It ran out. It scared the hell out of Michael Cole.
Hold on, I gotta stop you. What happened was he lifted up the apron, and the midget was unleashed.
Yeah, that's the simple way of putting it.
That's the key. The midget can't get out.
It was uncaged.
Yes, he's trapped under the ring until he's released.
And he came out frothing at the mouth, growling and snarling, looking for someone to kill. And he ran over to the announce table and scared the hell out of Michael Cole, and Finlay hog-tied the midget and tossed him into the ring. The midget ran over and began to murder Paul Burchill, and Paul Burchill could not escape because the midget was scary. So Finlay got in the ring, very calmly grabbed the midget, hoisted him into the sky, and then just threw him right back down.
Sure, he threw him onto the pirate.
Yes, and so the midget continued to kill the pirate over and over until Finlay decided that the pirate had enough. He grabbed the midget, he pulled him off, he climbed out of the ring, he lifted up the apron, and kicked the midget back into the ring and left him there.
Yes.
Because Fit Finlay keeps a midget under the ring in case of emergency.
Exactly.
It's his ring midget.
It
It lives there.
This idea is horrible on paper. I would prefer if Finlay did not have a midget. With that said, when I watched this segment, I was like, Fit Finlay is making this midget work. This will be the story of the year. When John Laurinaitis, who's really he's like a villain in a silent film. He's just a goof that is always trying to do some diabolical deed, and it always backfires in his face. And this is going to be the newest one. He's trying to fuck up Fit Finlay with this midget, and Finlay's going to get this midget over, and it's going to be great. And I'm going to laugh my ass off at John Laurinaitis just being foiled again.
All I know is I was entertained by the midget from literally the first time he appeared on screen. I enjoyed watching him beat up Paul Burchill. I enjoyed watching Finlay toss him on the Burchill again. And then at the end, when he lifted up the apron and indicated it's time for you to go back home under the ring, you saw me. Have you ever seen me laugh that hard?
I have, but you laughed pretty hard.
I roared. I was so amused. I am pro midget.
I want this sign at the Raw event.
I am man.
I am man.
It's a Burger King commercial, too.
It is, coincidentally. Main event was JBL and Ray for the title. JBL pinned him with the lariat in 1 minute. And I was like, what the fuck?
You didn't notice his foot on the ropes, did you?
I did.
Oh, okay.
But the fact that he beat him in a minute was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Could you not go 15 minutes and then do the fuck finish and then go to the other finish?
That would have been better, but to call that the dumbest thing you've seen in your life, it's not even the dumbest thing you've seen with Ray in the past month.
I didn't say it was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
You did.
No.
Okay, fine.
Do I have to rewind it?
No, I don't care.
Someone is going to point this out. Anyway, the point was that was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life, and they
I fucking hate you.
They kept going afterwards, and lots of shit happened. Ref hit the buckle, chairs, this, that, and the other thing. Ray finally hit the 619 after a tornado DDT on a chair, got the pin, the place went bonkers, children jumped up and down, grown men hugged, literally.
They did, yes. They showed grown men so happy they were embracing their neighbors.
They hugged, and that was that. And now JBL has to apparently head to ECW or something. I don't know what the deal is yet.
I'll be the Raw GM or something.
Oh, Jesus, no.
Well, I'm just saying, people started throwing his name out there, and I didn't know why, because I forgot about this tip here where he was supposedly gone from SmackDown. But
the fact that they announced today that the GM was going to be showing up on Monday suggests they thought of it today or yesterday.
That's not true. It was taped on Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm thinking that.
Yeah. Ray is great. Ray needs to never lose the title, I've decided. He just needs to keep having matches where... The thing is, everyone wants Ray to keep the belt, but they don't believe he's going to. And every subtle little thing, just announcing that Chavo was going to be ringside, you can hear the fans go, oh no, Chavo's going to screw him for the belt.
No, I got to completely 100% disagree with you there.
Okay.
Because I was listening very closely, and I noticed that when they said Chavo was going to be there was a huge pop. And I was like, none of you fuckers can see this coming.
Yeah. Okay, well... I was thinking more, actually, during the match, there were a lot of spots. The clothesline.
There were T spots.
People thought he was going to win the match after the clothesline from hell. They thought he was going to win the match after the low blow.
You mean lose?
I thought JBL was going to win.
Oh.
Yeah, so, yes, the point being, they believed Ray was going to lose, and they were happy when he was not.
Yes.
And it's a dynamic that works, and Ray needs to keep the belt forever.
Somehow I said this in the newsletter, but he's not bulletproof, but he keeps taking bullets and not dying.
He's bullet resistant.
He's strangely I guess that'd be the best way to put it, bullet resistant. But, yeah, so...
Thumbs up for SmackDown.
Thumbs up for SmackDown. So